Howdy folks, welcome on in on this very early part of our Sunday morning here. We've got quite a bit of activity as that looks like that cluster of storms we've been referring to here for the last day and a half here. That's finally starting to push on in through the area. Got a whole line of severe thunderstorm warnings all the way up there in Livingston County, spanning all the way down there, even to Logan County as well. In particular, watching one out there towards Cass County right now, kind of the most impressive reflectivity signatures on it. Saw the National Weather Service chat say they were seeing radar indicated $half size hail. Looks to be the biggest hail here in the area right now. But anywhere along this line of warnings at the moment, you are seeing about 60-mile-an-hour gusts there as that kind of bowing structure tries to push on through there. Some of those stronger winds there. You might be feeling those 60-mile-an-hour gusts. See hail reports maybe up to getting close to quarter size in some places. Seeing this one saying a hazard nickel size hail as starting to get some of those storms knocking on the door to Bloomington here as we speak as well. Got the Bloomington camera up there here in the background, seeing some nice flashes of lightning every now and then. Just kind of keep an eye on things as we kind of just getting started here tonight. Could end up being kind of a longer lived event here as this line of storms kind of got a little bit of a slow pace to it here. I'll move some stuff around here so we can get things adjusted. Yeah, kind of just a slow progressing band of storms here that looks like it could be around even until those sunrise hours. We're looking about anywhere between like 5 and 6 a.m. still. Gotten some people starting to check on in now. If you are anywhere out there where those severe storms are at the moment, let us know what you're seeing. If you're feeling any of those strong winds, starting to see any of those hailstones outside, you can of course relay that to us, and we'll relay it on to the National Weather Service as well. Keep everybody informed here late on our Saturday night and now officially Sunday morning. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the Bloomington camera here just shortly. Kind of see the light show going on there. With some of those storms, that was a good one. I could not have put the camera on there at a better time for that one. That was a nice little shot there. We'll take that full screen, just kind of watch it there for a little bit. But for the most part right now, just kind of seeing that lower end criteria for some severe storms, those 60-mile-an-hour gusts, and that hail close to quarter size, maybe just a little less there in places. Really, really getting lit up there in Bloomington right now as that storm pushes on through. Kind of a neat thing to be able to see here from our sky cams. It's in a nice positioning there. I'm going to flip things back over here to radar and just kind of keep an eye on things. Again, this could be kind of a longer lived thing tonight. It's potentially going to span across a decent chunk of the area, so definitely going to be at this here for a little while anyway. And taking a look, National Weather Service just extended that warning down there that was just for Cass County, now pushing on into Menard and even parts of far northwestern Sangamon County, just north of Springfield there, just up I-55 a little bit, kind of right there around Williamsville, around Sherman as well. And this is kind of the storm to watch at the moment. It's kind of the most well put together, kind of most on its own there. Just kind of got that kind of individual structure to it, kind of attached there to that line, but like I said, kind of still independent there. We'll drop a tag on this and see what kind of radar indicated hail we're getting with that one. Yep, $half size hail reported with that one. That is by far the biggest hail size that we're seeing here tonight. That's about 1.25 inches there as far as diameter goes, so it's the biggest stuff we're seeing as of right now. Pan things back over here. Also places like towns here affected by these warnings, places like Lincoln, Atlanta, Clinton, Bloomington, Normal area there as well, even up north into the Pontiac region there before too long. That's another part to watch as well, some of the better reflectivity signatures up that direction. But really anywhere along this line, kind of feeling the same effects, the only exception being down there in Cass and now soon to be Menard County. But that kind of more well put together cell, we'll say, just kind of bigger storm structure there is really dumping down some of the biggest hail here at the moment. Keep an eye here on your comments as well to see if anybody's got some of those reports right now. You got one person here from Fountain County, Indiana. Those storms earlier, those were kind of sneaky. I remember I believe it was the 10 o'clock show here tonight. Had a little ringing in my ear of the weather crawl there on the TV. Had those storms just kind of popping up. Knew there were some storms out there, but those kind of did fire up in a hurry. And I believe Jacob posted on his Facebook not long ago some hail. I believe it was 2 inches. I'm going to go look there and double check that, but 2 inches around Veedersburg. So I kind of got surprised there with some pretty good chunks of ice out that direction. So right now, our biggest threats still looking to be there. Yep, 2 inches in Covington, Indiana. Correct myself there, over in Covington from earlier. But right now, biggest things to watch for: strong winds, those larger hailstones as well. Right now, seeing anywhere between about nickel size up to $half size as well. Keeping an eye on tornado chances. And those chances have kind of died off here a little bit in the last few hours, but again, definitely not zero still, and that's one of the big reasons here. We just want to keep an eye on these storms and make sure that they're not going to be getting out of hand here as we move into the early parts of Sunday morning. And that's the one downfall here with these storms. Kind of talked about that earlier in the day as well. Just the fact that, yeah, some of these severe thunderstorms may be lower end, but in the overnight hours, it kind of does amplify things just a little bit there. You wake up in the middle of the night, maybe not entirely sure that those storms were coming, and all of a sudden you wake up, you have warnings beeping on your phone, and you got to get somewhere to make sure that you're in your safe spot there. But pretty much anywhere along this line is severe warned right now, and we kind of expect it to be that way here as we watch this cluster of storms move in throughout the night. Got those strong winds, the things we're watching for. We're going to see if we can, I'm going to get my, while you guys are looking at that, I'm going to try to get my Springfield camera oriented around here, see if we can kind of get a little bit of the lightning there in that storm that's now looking like it's starting to move right over Petersburg there on the west side of the area. So we'll see if we can get anything. Kind of had it pointing out that direction earlier, wasn't getting anything too exciting. Now we're starting to get some nice flashes there. So we're going to go ahead and move that camera around just a little bit, hopefully get some of those, I'm going to actually drop down some of those lightning bolts there just to see where things are the most electric. And yeah, like I said, that northern one there, that one approaching Livingston County right now, that one is lighting up the sky, as is this one down here entering Menard County entirely. Look at all those bolts just stacked on top of each other. So we're gonna feed things there to the Springfield camera here in just a moment. Got the Bloomington one up still. Let's flip that over. Take a look at Springfield looking off to the north, although that Bloomington one still was a nice shot there. Just kind of watching the sky light up a little bit here tonight. Actually had some pretty nice bolts there on screen just a moment ago, just before, yeah, there we go. Some nice inner cloud lightning there going on. And that camera, of course, shaking around as well. The thing's getting a bit windy. Springfield camera always kind of jumping around. But yeah, I mean, it does that for a reason. Wind's definitely picking up out that direction. And yeah, kind of watching that storm over there now over the Petersburg area. Definitely have seen some indications of a little bit of rotation on there. Haven't had any kind of tornado possible tags on there yet, but that's kind of the one we're watching here. If anything's going to do something at this point, looking like it could be that one there. Not to say that it will, but definitely kind of what we're leaning towards is watching that one for the potential for, if anything wild were to happen here tonight, it might end up being that one there. We're going to flip things over here, just kind of look at velocity, even if we don't see any kind of signatures here. We'll at least be able to just kind of see where some of those strongest winds are at. And again, there's your little storm. Shouldn't say little storm. There's your big storm down there in Menard County. Kind of seeing wind directions changing around just a little bit there. But really, looking up here to the north, you can kind of see where that gust front's starting to push on through here as that line of storms marches its way on in. Go back to our radar look here. But yeah, I mean, you look at that thing. I mean, that's gigantic. That's about the whole size of Menard County there. So effectively, the whole county could be underneath just a single storm here in the matter of just a few minutes. So definitely, if you're in that area, you want to be definitely want to be inside. Want to be away from some of your windows there. $half size hail, not quite getting up there to the big time destructive hail levels, but that could do some damage. That'll certainly do some damage, especially if you are outdoors there. So definitely don't want to be messing around there with that one. Want to be inside for sure with all these storms, but in particular, that one down there in Menard County at the moment. But also, I mean, not just Menard County, Logan County involved here. DeWitt soon to be hit by some of those stronger storms. Maybe even getting a little bit of that northwestern portion of DeWitt there, just northwest of Clinton. Effectively moved on through Bloomington right now. Maybe feeling some strong winds there. On the some strong winds on the east side. Looking up to the north, again, that's kind of the other one to watch too. That one's starting to enter Livingston County. I have to double think here to think of which direction my Pontiac cam faces. I cannot turn that one, but I can at least look at it here and see what's going on up that direction, see if we can get any kind of cool shots. And it turns out my Pontiac cam is actually offline. That's unfortunate. So not going to be able to get any shots from up there in Livingston County, but we can, of course, get some reports. Tricia saying thundering here in Pontiac right now. Definitely rely on some of those reports to see what's going on, since we're, as far as our sky cams go, we're a little blind up that direction here at the moment. But hey, good night for that Champaign weather radio to finally be reactivated here within the last couple of days. Definitely seeing a chance for some of these storms to expand down here into the Champaign area by the middle of the night here tonight as well. Just glad to be back up there on the airwaves with that. And anyone watching, I've said it a couple times today, but since it's a recent development as of this morning, the Shelby County NOAA weather radio has a degraded signal right now, so not extremely trustworthy there for getting your alerts from there. Storm's eventually making it down that way tonight, but obviously pretty far away from that. But if you're listening here right now, maybe thinking about going to bed here for a little bit before those storms arrive later on in the night, just keep in mind that those weather radios in that Shelby County area, not getting anything there from that tower at the moment either. Pick up one tower and lose another. Complete coincidence, but just our luck, it seems. We're going to toss the lightning back on there and just kind of talk about the two big parts of the storm. Really, the bottom and the top are the two parts we're watching. And just look at that thing. Like I said, kind of entirely covering Menard County right now, and it's lighting up the sky that direction too. Let me pull up my Springfield camera there in the background just to see all that stuff going on. Maybe we can get a nice little light show out that direction. And of course, like I said, $half size hail. That's the biggest that we're seeing here at the moment of our storms tonight. We're going to drop a tag there on that one up in Livingston County as well, because I have a feeling maybe that one is dropping a little bit of some decent sized stuff up that way. Yep, 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter size hail there with that one. Everyone else in the middle, kind of a little smaller there on our hail sizes. You can just kind of tell those storms are not quite as dense as that one up there on the very top edge of our line of storms here, on the very bottom edge especially. But that doesn't mean you're not feeling those impacts right now. A place like Lincoln starting to really push right there into the radar itself. You can see that cone of silence right around there, right around the radar dome itself. So a place like Lincoln starting to feel some of the storm there. Obviously, a place like Petersburg really starting to feel it there right now as well. We're, of course, taking any kind of reports you have there in the comments, always monitoring those to make sure of things. We'll check back in here with the National Weather Service chat, make sure we're not missing anything too crazy here. Just looks like a few hail reports here and there, but nothing too crazy out of the ordinary. We're going to put up the Springfield cam again, just kind of look into the storm from a distance there. That one moving over Menard County, and it's really lighting up the sky out there in Springfield. Maybe I can move things around just a little bit. Oh man, maybe I shouldn't. That was a sign that maybe I shouldn't. There's some nice lightning there in the sky. Yeah, pretty electric storm down there to the west, and of course that is the one where we're seeing the most action here at the moment. Not in Springfield, but kind of north of Springfield. Maybe actually kind of starting to get pretty close there to the northern Springfield limits at least. I'm seeing a nice light show there from the tower at least. That storm moving on, and we'll flip back to radar here. Close in on that. Yep, it's still well north of Sangamon County there, so not really an imminent threat for anybody in there, but you know, anywhere in Menard County, really seeing some of that heavy rain here at the moment. And we just got an update here from National Weather Service. Menard, Sangamon County, severe thunderstorm warning. Yep, and that box just expanded a little bit here. So definitely our widest storm and probably our most impactful one here at the moment. Again, anyone in those warnings certainly feeling an impact, but maybe not quite as much as what you're feeling there certainly in Petersburg and throughout Menard County here at the moment. We're just going to kind of trail on up here and see where things are heading. Kind of the middle of the line right now, passed through Bloomington. Might see an extension of this warning polygon here before too long. Places like Fletcher, Ellsworth, Colfax, Saybrook here, maybe within the next 20 to 30 minutes. Going to possibly see that line of storms move on in. Some stronger winds there, certainly with that. maybe not the biggest hail out of the line, but definitely going to hear some of those chunks of ice doinking off the roofs of your houses there before too long. Of course, watching up here to the north, it might have just a little tiny cell out ahead of this line here in Pontiac, making a little bit of noise there right now. So a little bit of a appetizer before the line pushes on through. Got people saying the lightning there in Pontiac pretty crazy right now too. I really wish we had that camera up there right now. It's really unfortunate that we couldn't have access to that one here on a night like tonight, but again, these people aren't making it up. Toss the lightning on there. Look at that. It's just a pretty deep layer from front of the storm there, even well into the back, into just the stratiform rain region there. Seeing plenty of lightning bolts there. Really across this whole thing, like we said, the king of storms right now, really that one in Menard County. That is pushing east, and Lincoln already feeling the effects of one severe storm and probably going to feel the effects here of that Menard County one within the next about 30 to 45 minutes as well. These storms not progressing all that fast. Drop a tag in there, moving east. That one in Menard County moving east at 40 miles an hour here at the moment. Kind of the main line of storms here, moving obviously a bit faster there with some of those strongest winds, 55 miles an hour there for that one currently in Logan County. I suspect pretty well the same up the rest of the line until maybe up there near Livingston County. And most of the rest of it there moving in at 55 miles an hour. So keep in check on things here right now. Pretty uniform as far as what you're feeling out there, no matter where you're at here at the moment, except that Menard County one that we've referred to here now a couple of times. But we'll watch this. We'll kind of see how things go. I'm going to try to pull up a few of our future tracks here just to kind of see what the action is here. Haven't checked that out here probably since the last hourly update here, so I'll get things shuffled around and we'll take a look at that. The rest of us, I've been saying here, midnight to 6 a.m. time frame here. So for many of us down there to the south, it could be several hours still before we start to feel the effects of this system. And of course, we'll keep an eye on things and follow it all the way through until that threat here at least subsides a little bit. I'm going to right now pull up our future track here. I'm kind of looking at this for the first time. I've kind of known what the trends have been, but this exact run here, looking at it for the first time. So we'll kind of look at it together here and we'll flip things over. That's always one of the problems with looking at these model runs. This one, maybe not capturing things entirely accurately, except it's got that cell that was west here of the area. It's got that one down pretty good, so maybe just a little bit behind there. But as we kind of push things forward, we're kind of seeing exactly what it's showing here right now, just kind of a congealing there into a line. Really do expect things to really kind of solidify and become a little more uniform. Just that big cluster there, even in that 4 o'clock hour. So definitely more of a marathon than a sprint here with this system, and really does start to blow up there with some of that stronger, some of those stronger reflectivities, some of that heavier rain. And again, past sunset hours, I mean, I might even be doing the morning show there tomorrow morning, still talking about some of these storms as they push on through. But that's kind of where we're at here at the moment. Non-zero tornado chance here still, but at the moment it really just looks like those strong winds. Some of that larger hail is about the extent of what we're seeing right now. Got a few people chiming in here. We'll take a look at some of these comments. Lightning and thunder in Clinton currently as that storm moves on in. Storms, will they weaken throughout the night? Not really seeing much of a weakening of storms. I think now that they've kind of lined up together, now that they're kind of a little more organized and kind of in that orderly row, I think you really do see this kind of stay at about the strength it is throughout the night. Could potentially tail off a little bit, but maybe seeing a couple of parts get a little bit stronger than what they are right now. But I'd kind of expect more or less what we're seeing here right now kind of continue throughout the night. You saw there in that future track some of those reflectivities starting to blow up there down towards the south. So maybe predicting a little bit of that, some of that hail jumping on in there, as well as some more heavy rain. But overall, expect things to kind of stay the way we're seeing it right now. Anytime you get these storms there in that line structure, biggest concern there is your strong winds. But definitely not ruling anything out here. Still watching that one down there in Menard County, and that one's really not moving that fast at all. It was probably getting a healthy dose of rain down that direction. I'd be interested to see what they end up with down that way. That cell is just literally just completely covering all of Menard County there at the moment. Can't even really see the outline barely there on the map. So definitely feeling the impacts of that storm down. Our furthest west storm and our furthest south storm there. Keep an eye on the one up there to the north. Pontiac definitely getting things hatched down here right now. Getting ready for that part of the line to move on in there. Definitely starting to probably feel some of those strong winds as that line tries to push on through here. Again, up and down the line, severe thunderstorm warnings. If you are in the path of that line, looks like you are probably going to get those warnings extended your way there eventually. As it looks like this part of the system is about to escape the polygon there. Probably would expect a little bit of an expansion on that here within the next few minutes. We'll see here. National Weather Service just continuing to update some of these hazard tags. Even expanding a few up there outside of our area, kind of in the Peoria area just a little bit there. Although many of those really have kind of started to move into our area, kind of is mainly into our domain here now effectively. I'm going to go back to full screen here for just a moment. We're going to pull up, let's see if I can get another look there. Maybe I can see something going east of Bloomington there. Again, I can't control the Bloomington and normal camera, so I'm kind of at the mercy of whatever direction they just so happen to be pointing in. So I'll see if there's anything interesting going on there. Again, it's out of the Bloomington normal area, effectively starting to push off there to the east. Maybe the eastern outskirts of town still feeling some of that heavy rain, some of those strong winds as well, but looking like things have passed on through there. Not seeing a whole lot there really on either the Bloomington or the normal cam. So we'll put things back on Springfield there, see if the light show is continuing here tonight. We'll pop that back on here right now, see anything going on that direction. Might have to angle it here just a little bit. I think I'm pointing a little bit more to the west now than what I want to be. As that storm kind of now directing itself a bit north of Springfield. So we'll move things around just a little bit. See if we get some of that nice lightning up there in the sky. Get a little bit of the city backdrop in there as well. That way we don't lose our sense of direction. But effectively, we're kind of just at that sitting around, watching period. Just kind of seeing a lot of the same stuff here. Got requests to see the future track again here. Maybe from a little more zoomed out perspective. So we'll do that here real quick. We'll pull that up while things are looking to stay just kind of how we left them. Here's a nice little view statewide of our future track. And again, can't completely take this for certain just because it's not doing too bad of a job here. It's a little bit behind, obviously, kind of seeing that signature right now. I'll put myself up there on screen so that way you can kind of see me pointing around here too. It's kind of got the right structure to it. Obviously a little bit behind on the time there by about 20 minutes, but this will probably do a nice job of showing how things evolve here throughout the night. Again, about hour 15 minutes from now, kind of seeing it direct across the central part of the area there, really starting to make its way in between both I-55 and I-57 there. Really looking like a lot of us are going to end up feeling the effects of something here in the night, whether it's just strong winds, whether it's some large hail as well. And I lost my place there in the future track. Might have to back it up here. There we go. So again, this could last throughout much of the night here, just slowly pushing south and southeast, and maybe a little bit of some build up there, some of that heavier rain, and maybe some more hail into the night. But of course, strong winds following this line all the way down to the south, 5 a.m., getting close to 6 a.m., getting close to sunrise there. And you're still seeing, again, quite a few people being affected by this. So this might be something we have to kind of watch and follow throughout the night. One person said in Pontiac, just heard a loud clap of thunder. They're scared, the dogs and cats. Yeah, we'll definitely do that here at this point in the night, getting those animals startled up there with some of those rounds of thunder. Definitely all that lightning there. We'll drop the lightning in there again just because it's kind of neat to see how much is being concentrated up there. Kind of maybe that lightning dying off just a little bit up there in Livingston County. I'm sure you're still getting your fair share of some noises that are keeping you awake instead of staying asleep there. And that storm really is starting to, I think it's probably picking up there in Pontiac here at the moment. Probably starting to maybe get some of that rain starting to fall there in the south and west part of town. Maybe eventually some of those Some of those hailstones as well, up to still quarter size that direction. So definitely something to watch for. If someone mentioned those animals, definitely make sure they have a nice little place to shelter up here for a little bit. Definitely don't want them getting hit by little balls of ice the size of a quarter there. That could hurt. That could, you know, make just a little bit of a, could leave a little bit of a scratch behind there. So definitely keep an eye out for those outdoor, those critters of ours. But I still really do think the thing to watch is down here to the south and west of the area, as that storm finally starting to push out of Menard County somewhat, kind of starting to move on over there into Logan County as well. So that's the big one to watch. I'm going to see if they still got nice lightning back there on Springfield again. See if they still got that $half size. That's down to quarter size hail. That's not too surprising. Kind of seeing some of those colors die off just a little bit, and now more of the kind of the oranges and the yellows there, as opposed to the almost maroon and kind of pink that we saw there earlier. But plenty, I mean, man, plenty of heavy rain down that direction. Definitely a spot that could use some of that heavy rain. Really, a lot of us kind of feeling dry. So the rain associated with this, not too bad. Don't want to get too much at once there. Just kind of concerned about just the way that storm is kind of slowly moving along there. Don't want to get too much rain poured into a dry area, because if you're drying up and then you just dump a bunch of water on there, that's not always the best thing either. So we'll take our nice share of rain there without taking too much. We'll pass the excess there onto our neighbors who need it as well. All the critters are inside. That is good to hear. That is good stuff. Definitely want to make sure they are watched out here for tonight. But again, if you've been following since the beginning of this stream, probably thinking the same thing I am. Not a whole lot's changed here. Kind of the same structure. Still watching that system down there, or excuse me, that storm down there in Menard County starting to work its way over into Logan County. And that one up there in Livingston kind of starting to blend in with the rest of the line there. Kind of looked a little more impressive earlier than what it does now. But that one's kind of starting to blend in there as well. Lots of rain in Athens and Menard County right now. Definitely lots of heavy rain down that direction. 60-mile-an-hour gusts included in there too. So definitely feeling like a nice spring storm down that direction. Somebody asking, what time do we think this is going to arrive there to the Danville area? So it's nice that Danville pops up there on the map like that. So it's probably going to be a while. I don't anticipate this really affecting Champaign for maybe another hour 15, just kind of roughly guessing. So out in Danville, I mean, this could be a thing that really doesn't get there until later on into the night, more so really early Sunday morning is what you would consider it there. So no imminent threat out that direction, but I'd say somewhere in the ballpark of 4 or 5 a.m., maybe close to sunrise there. Maybe you could start to see that line push in that direction. Some of these storms got some decent pace to them. Others there on the southern end, really kind of slowly trudging along there. Woken up in Menard County, loud thunder and gusty winds. Yep, I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to undergo what Holly did there as well, with waking up to some of this loud thunder and flashes of lightning, and maybe even your weather radios or phones kind of going crazy there, telling you alerts for your location. Drop lightning down there one more time. Still a nice electric storm there. Starting to move there into northern Sangamon County. We're starting to push there into Logan County as well. We'll get that Springfield cam back up there. It's got some nice lightning. I can see it there in the background. So we'll take that full screen. You can enjoy the light show there for a little bit. But of course, if you are in the path of that storm, definitely just want to make sure you're inside. Don't get too close to the light show there by those windows. Definitely want to make sure you are a safe distance at the moment. Jamie says rain and a little bit of hail in Clinton right now. Not entirely sure the size. I had to guess probably looking a little less than quarter of an inch there. Excuse me, less than a quarter size, I should say. Quarter of an inch would not be very big there. So we'll check back in with our friends of the National Weather Service, check in on what they are saying. So they believe, while rainfall has been fairly reasonable so far, a concerning area could develop across Logan County and adjacent areas of the Menard County storm tracks into the same area where heavy rain is noted west to east across Logan County. So watching that Logan County area there in the eyes of the National Weather Service, so we'll keep an eye there on that one. That's kind of the one we're attempting to look at here with our Springfield camera. I'll take a quick sip of water here to kind of get my voice back just a little bit. Nice little flash of lightning there mid-drink. So let's pop back up our storm tracker Doppler there. Storm really starting to pass through Pontiac there right now. Maybe really starting to feel it there on the south end of town, more by Eppards Point. Pontiac itself, though, probably seeing some pretty decent rainfall rates at the moment. Maybe some smaller hail in there, as well. But right there at the side of our radar, you can see the dome there with the sweeping across as it sends out its pulses here throughout the night, keeping track of these storms. Those that line starting to march right there into that direction. And you can see that gust front really well there. That's that little thin green line there just south of Mount Pulaski, south of Sherman, right there along Maroa. Just that line of intense winds out ahead of these storms. So a place like Mount Pulaski probably just felt or heard a really nice breeze there. A place like Latham probably going to feel it here in just a moment as well. It's always kind of a unique part of the storm. That's when you know it's arrived there, even before things start cracking there and start seeing that lightning up close and feeling that rain fall on down. You're going to feel that gust front push on through and really feel that wind there kind of pushing through the cracks of the windows. Checking out our comments here. Jacob, when Jacob asking when it's going to hit his house. I think he knows pretty well where these storms are going. I don't think I need to cater to his questions too much, even if he wants me to. He's smart enough; he can figure it out. So, wide shot here of our storms, kind of weakening here in the middle. You see some of those storms have escaped their warning polygons just a little bit there. Potentially, that little part of it might not be in the warning zone. I think maybe the only reason it would be is some of those stronger winds. 60-mile-an-hour gusts is what keeps those warnings alive there. Either that or hail upwards of quarter size. So maybe a little bit of a break in the action up there in eastern McLean County here in a little bit. But Bloomington looks like you are out of the storm zone here for now. Lincoln, now the place really starting to feel things there, and it's the one downfall to that. Things getting too close to the radar right there is just the fact that you can't see things right up there onto it. So even though there's a bit of a hole there right around the dome, you can definitely fill in the gaps there and assume some of that darker red in there. So some of those pockets of heavier rain, maybe even some larger hail in there as well. I believe we're still looking at about quarter size here with that portion of storms. 60-mile-an-hour gusts there. Actually just looking at some smaller pebbles of hail, so to speak, there in Logan County at the moment. Do still have quarter-size hail signatures there in eastern Menard County. Of course, if you've got reports of what you're seeing as far as hail sizes or that rain really come down, or the fact that, man, Seth, my window really can hear the wind through it. Anything like that helps here just to know what's going on. We're just watching down here to the south mainly, but also keeping everyone else in mind up there, up and down the area, all the way up there still into Livingston County. As we are a couple minutes away from jumping up, into that 1 o'clock hour of the night here. So hour one of potentially 4, 5, or 6 here tonight. And we're not going anywhere. As long as there's some severe storms, I'll be staying up with you. You can feel free to stick around through the night, or you can take a nap at some point if you feel like it. But when you wake up, we'll be here as long as the storms are, making sure you get through the night there without any issues. Jen says some lightning in Danville, probably getting a couple of little pop-up storms there in eastern Champaign County and out there. Getting close to Vermilion County as well. Yep, just a couple of little bolts in there. Those well out ahead here of this line of storms, so looking a little bit on the smaller side of things. But earlier, like I said, those storms in Indiana or Indiana counties, those didn't look all that impressive at first, but those kind of jumped up and kind of snuck up on us a little bit. Ended up getting 2-inch diameter hail there in Covington. Just keep an eye on that stuff here. We did have I'll put this out there as well. We did have an Illini alert earlier. I'm just now thinking to get this out there. Looks like 306 East Green Street. Looks like there was I'm actually going to pull up my Illini alert here. I get those emails to pop up there. Just kind of describe, just to make sure anyone that's out and about listening or in the Champaign area is aware. Incident of some action. There was a weapon around the East Green Street area there, 306 East Green Street. So avoid the area here still. Not giving the all clear for that. Of course, that affects you there if you're in Champaign. Non-weather related, but just want to make sure everyone's staying up to date on what's going on out there. Jacob relayed that there on his Facebook as well if you want to get the text version of that as well. So again, 306 East Green Street. A little bit of activity there. Somebody out with a weapon. So just be careful there in the Champaign area. And of course, be careful out there if you're feeling some of those storms at the moment as well. So our biggest zone there still looks to be that storm that has moved out of Menard, now into Logan County. Place like Mount Pulaski, maybe they're soon to feel some of that rain and dumping on down. Lincoln definitely getting on the back end of some of that heavier rain. Broadwell. So that's where the bulk of the action is. We're going to look up our line here. And looks pretty funny here for just a moment. It looks like the warnings have all expired here for just a moment, but those are all going to repopulate here again in just a sec. Those probably hit their 1 a.m. timer, so we'll probably see some of those populate back in here in a sec. Kind of funny, I thought I did something there with my radar at first to make them all go away, but I think that they're just going to repopulate back in there as they send them back in. If they see fit, of course. Maybe some of those storms in eastern McLean County, maybe not prompting some of those severe warnings anymore, but we'll see here in just a moment. We'll keep an eye on that. In the meantime, I'm going to move around our Springfield cam again as we start to see those storms move a little bit northeast of town there. See if we can get a nice glimpse of some of those storms passing by, maybe some of the nice lightning lighting up the sky there in the capital city. Got a little bit of an antenna in the way here. But that should still do here, so we'll pop that back up there. You can kind of see the cloud structure a little bit there if we get bright enough flashes of lightning there to kind of illuminate the sky. Again, there's your antenna there just in the middle of the screen. Don't mind it. But I like when you get some of that brighter lightning in there. You can kind of see like the nice purple color there in the background. Yeah, it's really cool being able to see the structure of the clouds out that direction. Definitely a little ominous looking there with those clouds. Definitely a bit of a creepy look there as it gets illuminated there in the lightning. Again, this is looking northeast of Springfield now, up there towards Logan County area. That was a nice little look there, illuminating the sky. And again, plenty of lightning. We are not starved for any of that electricity, that light show here tonight. So we're watching things here. Of course, if you have any reports, let us know. Any questions, I can, of course, address those as well. We are here for you until these storms pass, so if you have any concerns, definitely shoot them my way, and I will do my best there to address things going on. And, well, you know, I said that they might reissue some of those warnings. Been a couple minutes, and they haven't, so maybe they're not seeing quite as much intensity here with some of this stuff. I really thought that one in Logan County might keep going here, but hey, not a bad thing there if they're not. Did get just an update just now on that Illini alert. Police have made arrests related to the mob incident. Safe to resume normal activity. So that situation there around Green Street looks to be taken care of there. So in the Champaign area, maybe a little bit more relieved now knowing that that situation there is taken care of. Had a little bit of an incident there. Reports of a weapon out there near Green Street. That all taken care of, though. So nice to have those Illini alerts there handy. But yeah, things evidently weakening out here just a bit. Definitely feeling some heavy rain, maybe even still some small, less than inch diameter hail here in Logan County still. Again, knocking on the door there about Pulaski. You see that gust front pushing out ahead. Latham may have felt a nice big gust of wind there within the last few minutes or so. Loud and bright in Logan County right now. I would 100% agree with that. Drop those lightning bolts on there. Oh yeah, lighting up just all along that line. Wow, there is no escape there from the lightning. So definitely getting some nice light shows there in the sky down that direction. Plenty of electricity packed in there. And notice as you move a little further north, maybe not quite as much there. Pontiac now getting that storm to pass on through. The last severe warning storm here at the moment. And it looks like the storm has kind of started to outrun that polygon as well. So now looking more into, now looking a little more east there in Livingston County, kind of northeastern Livingston County, place like Sonneman. Definitely feeling some of that heavy rain, maybe in some bits of hail in there. Pleasant Ridge, Broughton up there as well. On its way to a place like Chatsworth, Charlotte, Cullum here, within the next about, we'll say 15 or 20 minutes or so. Now, still impressed with the look of this one down here to the south. I wouldn't be shocked if at some point there is a warning back on that, but at least for the moment, we're not seeing anything there. So, again, definitely not complaining about not having any warnings here. Quieted down in Pontiac as those storms move on through. Thank you, Jeannie, for reporting that. Wet in Logan County, says Casey there. So when asking any tornadoes, not seeing anything out there here at the moment. As we move throughout the nights, those chances look to stay low. Can't completely say no, they're not going to happen, but at the moment, not seeing anything that would make me think we need to worry too badly about anything here. But definitely feeling the strong wind there. I'm kind of got just a couple images there on my phone as well. Some nice bright colors there on velocity around the radar there in Lincoln. We'll pop that up here on here just to see some of those colors. Oh yeah, definitely seeing some of those stronger winds. Of course, the further away from the radar you are, the further up that it's scanning, but it's definitely some close to the ground signatures here. Definitely some strong winds rocking down that direction. We'll flip back onto radar now. Again, without some of these warnings on there, might be a little easy to let your guard down, but definitely want to make sure that we're still monitoring the situation here. Kind of had a storm down to the south earlier today, kind of entered in from Macoupin in Montgomery County, made it all the way to Jasper County by the end of the night as well. That one was kind of on again, off again, warned, not warned, and then eventually exited the area, but definitely made its impact felt. And there were times where, again, I kind of thought the storm was kind of nearing its end, but some of these do have some second life to them, so we will we're not going anywhere. We're going to go watch it as that cluster of storms starts to move on through. Got Bill asking here, where's the storm in Lincoln going to end up? So looking right now, that one, last I checked, still moving out there towards the east for the most part. That one's kind of got, I guess, I'm more than allowed to let the loop play here. So yeah, just kind of tracking out there and get some of those cities off the screen there. Tracking out there towards the east. Looking like it's going to head into northern Macon County there before too long. It's kind of up the line there in between Clinton and Decatur. Going to start to feel some of those gusts there in a little bit. Maybe some of that heavy rain as well. Pause things up there, keep us on that live loop. So yeah, we'll draw that out there again just to illustrate. Kind of moving out this direction, maybe a little bit of a southward extent to it, but Pushing out there to the east, Macon County soon in the path of that one. Definitely still the highest reflectivity, still probably seeing some decent hail, maybe just a little under severe status there, but probably the noisiest storm at the moment too, with plenty of lightning. Taking a wide look here, really looks like much of our severe warnings are either gone or past their effective use there. That one's still over Pontiac, but you can see those storms well out ahead of it there. Just some rain there in that warned area. I mentioned those places earlier. Sonneman, Pleasant Ridge, Emmington. Strong winds perhaps, maybe some heavy rain as well. So things kind of honestly slowing down here just a little bit. Not necessarily speed of the storms, but just kind of activity. Not seeing a whole ton going on here. Of course, worth watching the stuff behind us as well. These all kind of tracking east at the moment, but definitely a little bit these systems, these overnight systems, a little bit tricky to kind of tell what's going to go on sometimes with them, and kind of sneak up on you and do some weird things sometimes. But definitely seeing a chance for maybe a little bit of redevelopment there on the backside, move throughout the night as well. So not by no means completely done with anything, but looking like our severe storms are at least not in the area at the moment. We'll flip cameras here. We're gonna see if, yeah, my Springfield camera's still putting up a nice little light show there. We'll get that up. Look at that here just a moment, get myself a little drink here. Alrighty. Well, we'll pop back up our future track here in just a moment. Kind of see where things are heading here into the night. Again, we saw earlier some pretty good redevelopment possible here, or at least a build up there along this cluster of storms throughout the night. Making a little bit more of a widespread look there to it. We'll get that popped up here. There we go. So it's still on that older model run there, so not going to see anything different from what we saw earlier. But again, kind of a little more congealing of the line. Pull myself up here for just a moment so I can point a couple things out here from the chair. Get potentially some build up there behind it as well. So some of those places that already saw storms, maybe not completely done here tonight, but looking like, yeah, things could definitely build up again here later. Again, that's kind of a older model run here. I've got one on one of the sites that we usually get our data from that's showing a little bit of redevelopment there. Obviously a little more real time than that one, which is now a couple of hours old there on the model run. But yeah, I mean, when those warnings were taken off earlier, kind of thought they would keep a few of them around, but not seeing those here at the moment. Making sure I'm getting my, making sure things are refreshing nice and well on here. Kind of worried there for a sec, just seeing that that warning polygon up in Pontiac. I don't think that's actually, well, it's still there on my, a little bit of discrepancy there. One of my devices says that there's no warning box. One says that there is. Obviously, there's, I mean, you can see for yourself, there's nothing there in that box. Just kind of weird to still see it on there. They haven't completely gotten rid of it there yet, but definitely storm chases have passed through Pontiac there well into eastern Livingston County. Passing into the long, narrow corridor of Ford County there before too long. Place like Piper City on there eventually. The thin little passage before it jumps there into Iroquois County as well. Main storm, though, as it has been much of the night, down here around Logan County, DeWitt County definitely now, and even here into Macon County as well. Kind of starting to push straight east. We'll take a little bit of a zoom in here, see some of those places. Tunbridge, Osper in the path of that as well, Maroa, Etna definitely felt some of that heavy rain and seen some of that pink in there, maybe a little bit of hail dropping in there as well. Taking a look at some of the comments here. Anything for Champaign? Nothing for Champaign at the moment. Not seeing anything there imminent. Although we do have a little bit of that line starting to poke into northwestern Champaign County. Fisher, right there, about to feel some of that heavy rain in just a moment. Mahomet, definitely stuff knocking on the door there. Mansfield feeling it right now. Lodge, Whiteheath there, arriving into that area soon. Something to watch for, though, this back end stuff. I'm going to kind of loop this out. I'm going to slow down our loop here, or at least make it a little shorter so I can kind of keep things. Yeah, that stuff's got some pretty good eastern track to it, so nothing that's kind of diving down this direction, looking like it's going to continue to push east there. Maybe more of a northwestern part of the state issue here. Nothing that's going to jump in and dive down with us here, at least immediately. Might see a turn there at some point, but nothing noteworthy here yet. We're going to flip things over, look at our National Weather Service chat. Thunderstorm, when we got that one's out of the area there. Nothing too eventful or new there in the National Weather Service chat. Of course, if you guys are having something new and eventful, definitely tell us, and we will relay things on there, because at the moment, we don't have any warnings. We don't have any severe warnings here into the area. It's a good thing, of course. Seen some nice rain, maybe even some pitter-patter of hail there on the roof, but nothing that is officially in that severe storm status at the moment. Although I would say you're probably feeling some pretty strong stuff down there. I will slow this down here. We'll get that back into the live shot. Definitely feeling some winds in DeWitt and soon Macon County. But effectively, yeah, things kind of dropped off there for just a little bit. Those warnings all getting taken off, but definitely feeling probably some high-end, non-severe storms, if that makes any sense. Some of those stronger storms, we'll call them there, on the southern part of this. But effectively, yeah, severe chances at the moment. Not seeing a whole lot going on there. We'll throw the lightning back on the screen here. And I am sure we got some nice looks on our Decatur camera. I'm going to work on that here for just a moment. Keep the radar image up behind me. We'll steer around the Decatur one. That's one I do have some wiggle room with. I can spin that one around here. A lot of lightning and thunder, also windy in Farmer City at the moment. Got Mark asking if this is the main event here in Champaign tonight. This initial line here, I do think that's going to be, in a sense, kind of the main event. There might be some redevelopment behind it, which might be some more stormy weather here. But I think stuff is going to kind of continue to either build up or kind of maintain throughout the night, if that makes any sense there, as this line pushes on through. We're at 1:17 on the clock here right now. I got to think here for a sec. At night, things look a little different, obviously, during the day. I can get myself steered around here on the Decatur cam. Thunder in Urbana, says Jeff, and I'm sure I'll be hearing some outside the station here in a little while. Melissa also hearing thunder right now in the Champaign area. Okay, I've got my Decatur cam pointed what I believe is north. It looks like that way. We'll go full screen here. We'll look at the, hopefully we can see a little bit of a light show going up there to the north. Effectively looking like it could steer clear of Decatur for the most part, maybe scrape the north end there. Definitely hitting the north end of Macon County for sure, but there's a look in Decatur. A little bit of lightning there showing up. We'll see if we can see anything a little more electric on our Champaign cameras here. We'll look at the studio camera, which is several feet in the air above me right now. We'll get that one steered around here, and I'll get that image popped up here once I start to see some stuff. We'll get it oriented out there to the northwest. Nice tall tower that this camera sits on, so we can see over town here and see some of that lightning off to the northwest. See what is coming our direction here in the Champaign area as those storms are spilling into Champaign County here. About 1:15 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning. Got quite a bit of lightning in Leroy, says Kaylee right now. Turn things over to the Champaign cam, the studio cam just above the WCIA studio here. We'll flip things to that. Seeing some nice lightning out there towards the northwest. Maybe need to push it a little bit more to the west just a little bit here. I'll give it a little nudge. Maybe, if it'll let me. There we go. Nancy Booty asking if it will come to Effingham County. Eventually, yeah. I mean, right now I'm not overly wowed with the way this this cluster of storms has kind of developed or held together here. I'll pop that back up here. Not quite as widespread as what I thought it might be. Of course, there was, if you heard me say on some of the shows here this weekend, there was plenty of disagreement here on the models with this. And nothing was completely set in stone as far as which one was right, which one was wrong. But this one definitely looking a little more on the smaller scale of things. Just not seeing quite as widespread as what we thought it might be there. So as far as things down in Effingham, you are not. I guess that's a good idea too. I have not done that here tonight, and I apologize for not doing that. But here's your watches for the area. There's that severe thunderstorm watch. It encompasses most of the central and western part of the area, but notice Effingham not included there in that one, so by the time stuff gets down to that direction, maybe it'll be enough to wake you up there, maybe enough thunder and lightning to do that, maybe some hail, but not seeing, at least National Weather Service doesn't believe anything will be of severe status down that direction. At least they don't have enough confidence to put the watch down that direction yet. John says hard rain, lightning, thunder in Chatsworth at the moment. A little bit of my drink there. I'll put that down. Pop back up onto on the radar. Notice that a little tiny yellow block west of the area that touches Cass and Morgan County. That was a tornado watch earlier, and that one's really shrunk as well. So good to see that one kind of starting to fade away as well. Not too concerned about anything tornadic here at the moment. And even at the moment, not too concerned about anything officially severe at the moment either. Even though there's definitely some moderate impact stuff out there right now. Stronger winds, hail, less than quarter size. If it's safe to do so, if you see some hail dropping out there on your porch or something, just kind of let us know what size it looks like there without, of course, compromising your safety. We definitely don't want you to risk anything just to get us a hail size there. But it's nice to know some of the stuff that's moving on in here. Our viewers back home definitely feed us a lot of the information that we use there. We can only do so much staring at radar here. Those actually out there in the middle of it definitely know what they are, definitely know what they're seeing. We'll take a little bit of a zoom in here, see where these storms are heading. Maroa, maybe having some chunks of ice dropping down on the roof here at the moment. Looks like some of that pink popping up on radar. Heavy rain, of course. Whiteheath, Seymour, Mahomet. Mahomet getting nice rain there at the moment. And soon, coming to you soon, Champaign. Some nice rain and probably even feeling the breeze here a little bit as well. Let me, I'm going to pull up what's going on at the official observations site for Champaign there in Willard, kind of see if they're getting some of those winds to pick up as well. Around 20 miles an hour, gusts near 30, so nothing too crazy there yet. Nothing yet in Seymour just yet, says Tyler there. But definitely knocking on the door. Be ready for something there. Definitely going to see some rain here in just a moment. Nothing just yet in Thomasboro either, according to Matthew. But it will be there soon. A very thin line here, kind of traveling a little slow. So this might kind of drag out here for just a little bit, but Definitely going to feel some rain there in a little bit, and some decent rainfall rates there associated with that. Let's direct things here to our sky cam. See if we get some nice lightning. Get some nice lightning shots here, looking northwest of town. There we go, nice little illumination of the sky there. You can just kind of tell based on looking at the lightning. We were looking at Springfield earlier. We're seeing these, bolts stretch across the sky, really light up things for a little bit. Now, as it approaches Champaign, just kind of not quite as frequent, not quite as electric either. And I say that, and then it lights up the sky there. But yeah, definitely looking at some lower end stuff here. Well, we hopped on the stream because that whole line of storms had severe warnings attached to it. Now we don't have anything attached to it there right now, but we're going to stay put here for just a little bit. Keep an eye on how this system evolves here throughout the night. Again, things staying pretty thin along our line. No active warnings here into the area, but probably going to feel a nice breeze here in Champaign coming up soon, if you're not already, and a nice dose of rain as well. Mark says seeing lightning in southwest Champaign, and I just flipped the camera away and saw probably the nicest illumination of the sky here in Champaign County. That's about how it works here with me, but watching that line of storms, Monticello, feeling that heavy rain, Whiteheath, Seymour, if it's not there now, give it about 60 seconds there, and it very well could be. Cisco feeling the rain, Argenta, Beemont, about to get it there soon. Still pouring there in Moreau as well. Some of those places in Logan County and parts of Macon County, DeWitt as well, probably got some nice rainfall. Probably got some really good rainfall there. That storm was the biggest for the longest and was also the slowest, so probably got a good amount of rain down there that direction. But Champaign coming up here in just maybe a few minutes. You'll start to feel what's coming there, and we've got several people here, at least one or two I've seen, that are in Seymour, so they're giving you a little bit of a scouting report for what's to come. Jess says rain starting in Seymour right now. Douglas, lightning in Champaign. Becky, hail in Whiteheath. So definitely, yeah, still seeing some of that hail there with some of those more darker signatures, some of that maroon tossed into there. Hailing in Monticello, says Jamie. So yeah, keep up the reports, guys. Definitely stay safe, and even though these aren't severe storms, safety first. Be careful here. Still going to see some of that hail out there. Still plenty of lightning. We'll drop those lightning bolts on there again. Yeah, plenty of electricity there still. And I'm going to see if we can point things to the west a little more in our Champaign cam. Kind of looks like up there in Mahomet, you're kind of getting a little bit of a gap there in the lightning. So maybe we need to be looking a little more to the west to get some of the electricity lighting up the sky. We'll do that here real quick. I'll keep it on radar there for just a moment while I straighten things out. Megan says hail in Monticello. We're moving our camera around here, looking more straight west. I think that looks a little more like it. Oh yeah, there we go. So let's turn on the station camera and just watch out there to the west. See some lightning there with the approaching storm. Things are probably going to pick up here wind-wise in just a moment. Our Willard Airport, watching it to see what kind of crazy wind gust it puts up there. For some reason, when we get storms to pass right overhead, seems like the airport there sometimes, whoa, that's a nice little shot of lightning there. Feels like the airport sometimes kind of over-reports some of those gusts there, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens as this pushes on through. But probably some smaller hail approaching here to Champaign, as well as some heavy rain. It won't be long-lived stuff, but you'll feel it there for a good 10 to 15 minutes as that line starts to push on through. Be a nice little shower here for places that really could use it. I know there's some places that need it more than others, but really all of us have been a little drier here lately than what we've wanted to be. So it's good to see a little bit of that rain coming on in there. Nice lightning there, keeping the sky nice and bright. We'll flip back over to radar here. Look at some of those places in the path. Champaign, a couple minutes away there. I'm hoping we get some nice loud rumbles of thunder, maybe pick it up on the microphone there for you guys to hear what things sound like outside the station here. Bob says pea-size hail in Whiteheath. Thank you for that report there, Bob. Closer to Thomasboro. Take a little bit of a zoom out here and keep an eye on some of these storms well out behind that front here at the moment, that line of storms there. I'm going to turn on the loop here, just kind of see, shorten the loop up there just a little bit. And play it again. Maybe. There we go. So definitely seeing storms pop up behind. Anyone still watching in McLean County, potentially Livingston County, although that's well down the line. Maybe another round here eventually. Could be still half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe even an hour away from happening, but maybe not 100% done here just yet. We'll watch and see how these evolve, but they've certainly got an eastward track to them here, so anyone south of that, not looking like those are going to dive down your direction here anytime soon. But we're about ready for the show to start here in Champaign. See that line push on through. Monticello, Whiteheath, Seymour, all seeing the rain. Melissa asking about any kind of tornado concerns. Nope, nothing here at the moment. Just some strong winds as this line will push on through here. Maybe a little bit of hail, but outside of that, not seeing anything that'll. Not see anything that will be too alarming here as this system passes on through. Just a nice little line of spring storms pushing on through. And I'm eagerly watching here our wind gust reports. Actually, let's see if I can. I don't know how good that'll look on here, but let's just look at the gust map across the area. I have a feeling this will be pretty bare. There probably won't be a lot of places popping up. Yeah, we've got some 20 to 30 mile an hour gusts, but nothing too impressive there yet. You see just the general, let me see if I can get just the wind direction there. I think I have a graphic that just shows the wind direction. Kind of just haphazard, all kinds of different directions there. You can, see those particles moving around there, just kind of all different wind directions here as these storms kind of mesh together and kind of push air out there from the bottom. Definitely seeing winds from all kind of directions. It's a pretty windy day here today. I think now's a good time to pull up the Champaign cam as that storm starts to roll on in here. In the nighttime hours, we can't physically see it roll on in, so we'll have to rely on the lightning there to see things push on through here. Also wheel around the Memorial Stadium cam, see if we can get anything looking from the south. I think a little bit more favorable terrain looking to the west as far as not getting any kind of obstruction. Not that we're seeing a ton of obstruction there on this studio cam, but I take that back. The Memorial Stadium cam actually probably has a better shot of that. So let's wheel over to that camera. Let's watch things roll on through. I hear pitter-patter on the roof here of the station. So rain dropping on in here now, lightning illuminating the sky, and probably going to feel some of those strong winds here in just a moment as well if you're not already. Some nice lightning out there. We'll pop up radar here again. Hopefully we won't miss anything too fun, exciting there on the camera. Yep, here any moment. Champaign, and then Urbana to follow there. Going to get some nice rain, some stronger winds. A big part of the storm there popping up southeast of Monticello. Ibesdale looking like you could get a decent prolonged stretch there of some heavy rain. Let's go back to that camera, though, with things starting to really fire up here in Champaign as that line pushes on through. Kind of just a point of view of what to expect if you are in the path of these storms further to the southeast. Kind of a, like I said earlier, a scouting report here looking at Champaign live. Lori says pouring in West Champaign right now. Probably going to be that way here for the rest of the day. Whoa, that was cool. That almost looked like daylight there for just a moment. You can kind of see the grass field there on the ground. Jess asking how long the storms are expected to last. The line looks pretty thin. Oh, there's some nice thunder I just heard outside. The line's pretty thin. I don't expect more than maybe 15 minutes there for Champaign especially. Down there to the south, things could last a little longer. I'm talking about a place out to the west, kind of on that Piatt-Champaign County border there. You could see rain a little bit longer there, maybe 20 to 30 minutes. That part of the storm looks to be a little bit thicker, have a little more rain tied to it there. But Champaign, maybe about 15 minutes there. It'll be a quick round there, be windy for a little bit. Of course, plenty of lightning in there as well. We're watching things from our Champaign camera there on Memorial Stadium. Willard putting up a few 30-mile-an-hour gusts, so looking like the big burst of wind here, maybe not quite in just yet, but also keeping an eye. Jump over to our National Weather Service chat here, make sure nothing's getting past us there. And National Weather Service still considering this a strong storm, sub-severe, but you know, you're going to have hail, a little less than quarter size there. So you might be talking about hail, nickel, penny size there. I know someone said earlier, I believe it was Bob, said pea-size hail there in Whiteheath. So that's about what to expect here as we, whoa, that was cool. That was a nice little lightning bolt there. Perfect positioning for that one. I have to roll that one back here later. That was a nice looking shot. So lightning, making a nice little light show in the sky. And Champaign, feeling the lightning, the thunder, the wind, and the rain there as this line of storms pushes on through, starting to get some water piling up there on the camera lens as well. So thought maybe we could have some severe storms pushing through, but we'll take the nice spring storms, making some noise, giving us some much needed moisture there in the ground as well. Man, we are getting a nice little show here on the camera. Of course, make sure you can enjoy the storm as it passes on through from the comfort of your house there. Definitely don't want to be hanging outside there as this pushes on through. Watching it there as it approached. Oh, oh man, there it was. Okay, I heard loud thunder there outside the studio, and then I just saw the camera really light up there. And I'm wondering if anyone heard that pick up there on my microphone. That was neat. That was good to see. But yeah, getting a little noisy here in Champaign for sure. I'm sure that's the same story for many of us south of here as well, and I can really hear the rain pounding down on the rooftop here at the moment as well. Oh yeah, now I can hear that wind outside as well. I'm going to flip things over to, as nice as this light show is, I'm going to flip things over in just a moment. I'm going to put on the studio cam again. I'm going to try to aim it down. Oh man, good thing I didn't turn it there. Nice lightning again. I'm going to point things down and look at the corner, the stoplight there on Green and Neal Street, so that we can just kind of see how hard the rain is coming down here. So I'm working on that. You can enjoy the nice light show there from, oh man, just saw a big flash of lightning there on the studio cam I'm moving around. And you just saw it, yep, there on the Memorial cam. Okay, yeah, that one sounded really close. I felt the ground rumble there on that one. Here's a nice shot. Let's get that pulled up here. Let's get that one, the studio cam up. Hopefully it switches here in just a moment. Oh yeah, nice big lightning. I believe I have it set to, there we go. Yeah, look at that rain coming down in sheets there in the corner of Neal and Green. Almost enough to, well, shoot, I hope we're not going to lose our camera here. Definitely glitching out here a little bit. Maybe I'll zoom out here, but you can see the rain, yeah, coming down there pretty hard at the moment. And here is that storm we've been watching, tracking on through. Here it comes, making its presence felt here. Here's some pitter-patter out there near the garage area. I hope there's no There's no rain getting in there. But yeah, I can just hear the wind just whipping over the roof here right now. I can never hear some splash out in the parking lot too, so definitely some heavy rain coming down here at the moment, some nice lightning as well. I'm actually going to I'll let you guys keep looking there at the champagne cam. I'm hearing a little bit of a drip of water. I'm going to make sure I don't have a leak somewhere that I need to take care of. Having some water jumping on in here. Looking around, not seeing anything. I know you guys can't see where I'm at here, but you can still hear me. It just sounds like it's whipping right up there against the garage door, so just my ears deceiving me a little bit there. And my direct TV signal gone now as well, as to be expected there with that storm pushing on through. We'll pop up radar here again. We'll watch, see where things are at. That heavy rain pushed on through, and really, like I said, Champaign getting the thinnest part of this line here. Just, I mean, Sedoris, Ivesdale, Willard might fill up the rain gauge here. Not literally, but man, they might get some good rainfall there at the airport there, the official station there where they record the rainfall totals for Champaign. That one might kind of oversell what we're actually feeling here in Champaign. You can see that's the only problem there with some of those reporting stations outside of town. Willard getting hammered there with some of that dark red, whereas Champaign, maybe just getting some of those oranges there. I haven't seen our signature wild wind gust at Willard here just yet. Yeah, nice steady rain. I'm gonna loop this here for just a minute. Make sure that still. So yeah, I mean, those of you along this, I'm gonna put myself up here on camera in just a moment. So those of you along this thicker part of the storm, I mean, a place like Tolono, Broadlands coming up, Philo, Villa Grove. I mean, this thing's kind of just, we'll get more zoomed out there. This thing's kind of just pushing straight east. You notice how deep the orange and red is there on that. You could get some pretty steady rainfall here for about maybe 30 or 45 minutes there, because if that line just keeps pushing down the line, that rain's just going to keep continuing to dump on the same spot that it's already starting to right now. Emily says lots of lightning in Philo right now. Lightning show in Thomasboro. See what else is going on. Holly asking about Danville. Ooh. Oh, that one was close. Whew. Danville, maybe starting to see, we'll pop up lightning there as well. That was a nice little flash. Danville, those darker lightning bolts, those are older ones. So maybe saw some lightning earlier. A couple little popcorn storms there that direction. As you can see, that thin line, kind of the part that we're feeling here in Champaign, more of North Champaign, so places like Rantoul up there, Ludlow, Sellers as well. That'll probably be something that you feel there in Danville here within the next, call it 30 or 45 minutes there. Just that part of the line of storms, push on through. Maybe you'll get yourself a nice little light show, some moderate to heavy rain there at times. And maybe some small hail in there as well. Let's see here. I, of course, have no sense of telling how windy it got out there. All I could hear was just the noises. I know how rainy it was. I know how lightning-filled it was there, but kind of keep an eye here to see what our gust reports are going to tell us here. There might be a nice little, might be really nice strong burst of wind out there in that same area of heavy rain I was talking about here in southwestern Champaign. I'm going to pull up that velocity here real quick. Oh, man, yeah. Geesh. That tan color in there. Goodness sake. You start to get some of that tan color popping up on there, you're talking about some pretty strong gusts there. Of course, that is a little far from the radar over there in Lincoln, so we're aimed up in the sky a little bit more there as we get further away or looking up a little bit more. But man, winds that strong, not that high above the ground. That's something to. It's definitely something to. Anybody out there in the Beemont area, Cerro Gordo, Ivesdale, south of Monticello? Anyone out there right now? Kind of tell us how windy it is that direction. That'd be appreciated because that looks like it's here we go. Joe says just a little southwest of Sedoris, and it is starting to get to that point for sure. Kimberly says wind pouring, rain, lots of thunder and lightning in Tolono. Well, kind of echo what Jacob said here. Particularly interested in hail reports with the size and especially southern Piatt County on the wind. Very windy in Ivesdale with hail, says Haley. So yeah, this is the kind of spot of interest here at the moment. Just some really nice light shades there on the velocity image. And this tells us when we click in on it, it says 80 miles an hour. Like I said, that's above the ground there a little bit, and maybe have a hard time believing there being 80-mile-an-hour gusts that direction. But you guys are the ones out there in it. So Amanda, Sedoris, it's windy. Sounds like hail. South of Cerro Gordo, says David, really windy. Very windy near Beemont as well. Storm woke us up. Welcome on in then if that storm woke you up and got you looking here at the stream. Hail in Tolono, lightning in Rantoul, thunder fairly quiet. But yeah, I mean that light glob of some strong winds. We see a little bit of that out there in northeast Champaign as well. Some strong gusts out that way. So anybody in the Sellers or Penfield or Royal area, maybe east of Rantoul, let us know about some of those strong winds as well. But yeah, seeing that one little pocket of strong winds out there in Piatt County and now southwestern Champaign County, definitely feeling the breeze that direction. We'll pop back up. Excuse me. We'll pop back up our reflectivity here, or a regular radar look, so to speak. That's like I said. I mean, anywhere along that line here for the next, like I said, 30, 45 minutes. I mean, you're going to be. I'm going to loop it here real quick just to illustrate. You're going to have that rain kind of training on the same spot there for a little bit. Talking out here like Broadlands, Newman area. And that glob coming straight on through. There's plenty of depth to it. There's also plenty of heavy rain there and strong winds, as we obviously just saw. So definitely want to hear what anyone has to say there in that general direction. Around the Tolono area, probably getting some heavy wind. I know we've got some people down there, Sedoris and Ivesdale as well. Pasodum, Villa Grove. Good old Chicken Bristle. Can't ever see Chicken Bristle on the map and not say it there. It was one of the favorite names to read off there. Gonna go back to full screen here for just a moment. Another drink here real quick. Just keep the voice alive here as we are 15 minutes away from 2 o'clock. The late show with forecaster Seth Bohnhoff and the storms. Still hearing the rain pitter-patter on the roof here of the studio. Looking at the camera on Neil and Green. Definitely seeing some nice moderate rain pouring down there. Not quite as bad as earlier, but definitely still seeing it dropping there onto the street. I'm going to pop over to National Weather Service chat, see if they have anything new to note on here. They've got a little bit of a discussion. Yeah, I was kind of curious about that. They're talking about the storms up here in the northwest, outside of our jurisdiction here, but we're kind of discussing those, seeing what's happening up that direction there in the Peoria area. Seeing a lingering risk there for some severe hail, but looking like things could diminish here throughout the night. So we'll watch that. We'll watch that up there to the north and west. Again, that's not necessarily completely out of the equation for McLean or maybe even Livingston County there later in the night, but plenty of distance between them and those storms there right now. Hard to tell how that's going to track it over time, whether or not those are going to keep strength, whether or not they're going to kind of tail off a little bit there. or if they're just going to kind of keep the status quo. But we're watching our line of storms here. Again, man, just a real buildup there of some rain in southwestern Champaign County. Soon to be there in Douglas County as well. Tuscola probably going to feel some of that rain. We'll stop giving everybody headaches there and stop that loop. Yeah, North Douglas County, definitely going to feel the rain here in a little bit. South Champaign County, certainly going to see that rain. Pasodum, probably really feeling the rain here right now. Watching as we track there to northeast Douglas County and southeast Champaign County. I'm going to pop back up the velocity of the winds. And yeah, man, we're not letting up there along that little part of the structure. Feeling those nice strong winds. Those light pinks, the tans. I mean, we're talking. I mean, you look up there at the. We'll flip things over here. Look over at our legend up there. I mean, it's about as high as those colors can go. So, definitely feeling the breeze up there, not too far above the ground. So, I'm gonna pop back up my my chat here. I put that one away for just a moment to see. Dawn says starting to be a light shower in Homer. Yeah, kind of at this point, we've been going on for about an hour and a half now. I don't plan on stopping. I'm just going to keep watching stuff here for a little bit. Definitely don't want to miss any kind of redevelopment if it were to happen. And I think what I'll do here, I'm going to pop back up here a radar image real quick. Not that one, though. Let's do that one. There we go. I'm going to kind of breeze through some of our future models, see if sometimes on the weather computers here they're a little slow with the actual model input. So I'm going to see if that one is. I'm going to use my other computer over here to make sure that is. I guess I can do it on here. There's no point not doing it on here. We'll take a look and see what the future track shows here. Hopefully it's got the most recent update on there. If not, we'll work with what we have. Again, I still think that's an older run there. But, yeah, because I think it's a bit behind there, because obviously that not entirely matching what we're seeing here right now. But maybe still a chance there for some redevelopment as we move into the later hours of the night there, closer to sunrise for Sunday morning. But overall, considering what it looked like earlier at one point, the severe risk not quite so bad here tonight. Definitely seeing the hail, saw plenty of lightning. Maybe a few folks maybe lose power for a little bit, but I don't imagine that there took very long. I'm gonna get a quick double check on my microphone here, make sure that my batteries are holding strong. We've got 2 out of 3 bars. That'll get us going there for a little longer. Don't want to be in the middle of a speech or a rant even here and have my microphone go dead and not realize it till minutes after. But no worries of that here right now. Thunder in Danville, says Sally. That is the direction things are heading here at the moment. Well, let's pop up that Danville cam. Why not? I can't turn that one around either, but might get a nice view. Tony says, lightning calmed down in Monticello. Almost seemed like the sun was out earlier. I think that's a good way to describe it there. That lightning illuminated the ground even for a little bit. You just kind of take a screenshot in the midst of that lightning, almost indistinguishable from daytime. Again, it says really, really windy in Royal at the moment. I'm going to get that Danville cam popped up. Well, okay, yeah, there's some good lightning in there. So we'll pop that one up there. Again, I can't move this one around, so we're kind of just at the mercy of where it's pointing. But Danville, you look like, you look like you've got some wet concrete there on the ground, some puddles there on the streets at least. We've got a little more coming here in just a little bit as that line of storms will creep on in, bring some rain, and apparently maybe some really strong winds as well. Still watching that little pocket of really strong gusts. Willard now got those gusts in. Says 43 miles an hour. I can I can get by with that. I think that's pretty reasonable there, considering some of the reports we got on there sometimes. Again, I wasn't out there in it. I'm in a building without windows, so I don't know how windy it got. You guys can attest to that there. But that one doesn't look out of this world as far as those gust reports go. Danville getting a little bit of the raindrops there on the camera. Let's hop over to radar again and watch things there. I'm going to get a quick loop of the things going on here to the northwest of us here, just making sure nothing is nothing surprising us up there. Want to keep an eye on the current stuff while also keeping in mind anything that is behind that current line. And it doesn't look like anything too crazy here. Now, one thing to note, maybe western McLean County here in a little bit. A little bit of another kind of mini second round. Not sure if that'll have the extent to get to Bloomington, maybe a little bit there, but we'll see. Maybe get a little bit of rain in Danvers, Mackinac, out that direction. Mackinac and Little Mackinac. So back to our main event down here. Been the main event for most of the night. Tolono wrapping up with the rain. Tuscola maybe getting scraped. Hayes, though, you are taking a direct hit there with that heavy rain and maybe even some of that hail. And strong winds as well. Villa Grove starting to get that as well. Jerry says very windy in Ogden, pouring down. Lots of lightning. Lots of lightning and thunder in East Urbana as well, but not raining nearly as bad or quite as windy. Things calming down in Thomasboro as well. Yep, Champaign County, things wrapping up there. Southeast Champaign County, things really just getting to their peak. But next in line, Vermilion County, Danville, Georgetown, Fairmont eventually. So watching this way, Danville cameras giving us some nice lights out there as well. Maybe just a little bit of a small appendage out in front here. Sally reporting from Danville, lightning and thunder there at the moment. Let's drop those lightning bolts down there again. Yeah, still a good amount of lightning. I mean, this storm has carried the weight, has absolutely carried the weight here of the light show tonight. You get a little bit up there with northward extent. Yeah, goodness sake, I mean, that's quite the density in there in those storms. I'm going to take that off here for just a moment. Even though we've got some excitement jumping in there into Vermilion County, want to keep an eye on things up here to the north. Definitely don't want to leave those people up here left out. Anyone watching in up there in Iroquois County as well, or northern Vermilion County. Places like Potomac, Rossville, Hoopston, Rankin, Cissna Park, all either feeling some heavy rain here at the moment or about to. Up into Iroquois County, Milford, Woodland, feeling it. Watseka, just felt it there. Some of those pink signatures. We're a little far. I think we're getting the we're getting the Chicago radar up there. A little bit far, so these are indications of a little more up there into the air. So the more elevated parts of the storm. But yeah, up there in Iroquois County, definitely not forgetting about you guys up there. You're feeling some of those stronger storms as well. Probably getting yourself a nice light show. We can't see anything up there. Our northernmost cam is Pontiac, and I guess I missed a chance there to look at the Gibson City cam when that one passed on through as well. Sometimes forget about that one in the nighttime just because looking right there at the ball diamond, things look dark, but when it's lightning out, I don't need a whole lot of light to see what's going on. The sky's going to do that for me. But yeah, definitely looks like Vermilion County right now is the place next in line. Maybe even parts of Edgar County coming in there soon. Of course, North Douglas. And southeastern Champaign, Broadlands. Get ready. Here comes that main part of the storm. Take a look here at our chat, see if anyone's got any questions. Will possibly die down once it hits Shelbyville. I think from what I've seen right now, there's no real indication of anything getting more intense here at the moment. Just kind of watching this little thing here in South Champaign and North Douglas. That one's held together pretty well, kind of built up on itself. But as far as, it really is hard to tell at this point because this particular setup that we see here at the moment, this is kind of following earlier model runs here of what I saw earlier here today, where things kind of stay up there to the northeast a little more. I don't know if you guys remember, but yesterday had two different models, one showing stuff really far to the west, one showing stuff really up to the northeast. Looks like we're kind of getting that northeast track that we had there yesterday. And if that's the case, I'm not so sure a place like Shelbyville will end up with anything here anymore, because this has all kind of been placed up here to the northeast. So we'll see as we go throughout the night. About to cross the 2 o'clock hour here. We'll see if things get down their direction, but I'm not too concerned with it at the moment. I do believe, I'm going to double check that here real quick. I'm going to go to my other computer so I don't take down the radar image here, but I do believe that Shelby County is, if I'm not mistaken, in that severe thunderstorm watch. Double check here. Yep, Shelby County is. So we'll see. I don't see anything here at the moment that would lead me to believe that there's going to be anything too crazy or anything more intense than what we're seeing here right now. Yeah, someone's saying bad storm in Tolono. I agree. I'm looking at that one, and I think this one is probably packing a punch to a place like Villa Grove, probably Broadlands here in just a moment. And this one's impressive. I mean, it really is. And of all the stuff we've watched here tonight, this is the same thing that was pushing through Menard County, I believe, at one point. Just the big southern part here of this system. Maybe it's kind of been some recycled stuff from nearby storms as well. But yeah, this has kind of been the main event throughout much of the night. Villa Grove had huge, all caps, huge ground lightning hit the north side of town there from dawn. According to Dawn there. So yeah, I mean, it's something to behold here. This is the biggest storm that we've got. Lightning all across the area. And I'm going to see something here. Let's see. So the only camera I can move around, I'm going to pop our cameras real quick. Look at Danville for a moment. I'm going to try to move the Champaign camera around, look to the south. Look and see how much lightning we can get there with that storm moving more into North Douglas County, but also in southern Champaign County. Probably best bet there to use the stadium camera, a little more on the south end of town. Sarah says starting to calm down there in Tolono. Looks like it's starting to pass through there. Interesting. Maybe I don't know. Maybe at the moment, oh, here we go. Okay, so we do have a active severe thunderstorm warning now. Been a little bit since we've had that. This one up there in Iroquois County, good thing we just looked. And this one really about to exit the area there. So a little bit of a false alarm. Those in the path of this here in our viewing area, Iroquois, Sheldon, Darrow there, passing through Milford. So that's the severe thunderstorm warning really exiting the area. So nothing really sticking around here in the area. But yeah, definitely intensification of that northern part of the storm there as that exits on out. You see some of that pink and red in there. Again, we're looking at a more high up in the air version of that storm, but definitely seeing some activity in there. If I had to guess, probably quarter-size hail jumping into that. Yep, 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail there. So we'll keep an eye on that. Those of you, if there is anybody out there, if you're in the chat anywhere in far eastern Iroquois County, place like Iroquois, Sheldon, Darrow there, Cutmer, Stockland, anyone up in there can give us those reports. But we'll continue to look at things further down the line here as well. Nice maroon signatures there all throughout Vermilion County. Haley there in Ashcombe. So yeah, definitely getting a little bit of activity up here in Iroquois County at the moment. Yeah, Ashcombe up there in northwestern Iroquois County. So maybe being able to view those storms from afar, but seeing a little bit of rain out that direction. Good to know we got some people up there in Iroquois County here watching still tonight though. But I'm going to keep an eye on this. I'm not going to completely ignore that severe thunderstorm warning up there to the north, but I think that one, I don't know if anyone's watching here from that part of the county there. And if they are, I can fill you in here real quick, of course. 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail, and that looks to be done here within the next little bit, maybe 10 minutes or so as that pushes on out. So watching that, kind of hearing a little bit of wind here on the roof still of the studio. But I'm going to pop into that Danville cam again. I'm going to see what's going on there. And while I'm doing that, we'll watch the show here in Danville. while I'm doing that, I'm going to keep on working on moving that, try to see if I can move that champagne cam, look to the south a little bit, see if we can still capture some of that lightning as it leaves town here. And I got to think of which direction. I'm looking out here to the west, that's right. I was looking to the west. So let's turn around and look towards the State Farm Center, maybe more out to the east. Oh, maybe not. Kind of looking to the southwest, I'm seeing a bit of lightning out there as well. Jeremy says, crazy lightning, winds, and hail in Oakwood. Hey, Kathy, watching in eastern Iroquois County. Good to know that someone is up there. We're tracking those storms up that direction as well. That's your only severe thunderstorm warning here at the moment. So we'll take a look at things there for Kathy. Again, 60-mile-an-hour gusts, quarter-size hail. Anywhere else here in the area with these storms, we're kind of just seeing lesser versions of what we're seeing there in Iroquois County. This one just so happened to hit some of those threshold numbers. Quarter-size hail will get you a severe thunderstorm warning. 60-mile-an-hour winds, 60-mile-an-hour winds will get you a severe thunderstorm warning. But a combination of those, obviously getting you one there too. So keep an eye on things up there in eastern Iroquois County. Yeah, someone got a lot of people telling me still plenty of lightning in Champaign County. I don't want those people in Danville to feel like we're bypassing them there, but I am just going to turn things just a moment to the camera facing State Farm Center right now. It is a light show. I mean, it is just bolt after bolt out this direction. We'll see if we can see if the lightning's shy now that's on camera, but it's been pretty exciting. Oh man, okay, yeah, I picked a good time to look at that there. That was a nice shot. That lit up the whole sky. Saw those streaks move across the sky. Saw the white dome there in the State Farm Center. So we're gonna watch this one here for a little bit. This one's putting on a nice little display here tonight. Tasha says Beemont is loud, house rattling with thunder for a good while now. Lots of thunder, lightning, and wind. Also getting reports of that in Piatt County. Lightning and thunder continues. Lots of lightning, but rain and wind pretty much done in Ogden, says Jerry. But yeah, man, that was a nice little introduction there to the State Farm Center camera. The nice light. Oh yeah, they're not done yet. We are not done yet looking out that direction. But that's the one concern to keep an eye on for is that storm in southern Champaign County now kind of leaking out there towards the Douglas County and Vermilion County area. This thing's strong. I mean, it really is. We're gonna look at it there again and just see that glob there, that storm. It's got some strong winds, it's got some heavy rain, and it has no lack of lightning either. Let's pop up that lightning again. Still just seeing a light show. We're getting a little far away from it here in Champaign, and we can still see it easily out that direction. So yeah, plenty of heavy rain, strong winds in there. Michelle says lightning and thunder are really strong in Villa Grove. I can believe it there. And like I said, Villa Grove, I mean, I feel like I've been referring to Villa Grove here for the last almost 15 minutes about being in the midst of that storm. You still are. And you got some rain there on the backside of that here still too. So those are the places. I mean, Beemont mentioned earlier too, Hayes. You're still seeing those signatures of heavy rain, and even seeing a little bit of pink there in Cerro Gordo as well. So watching maybe even for some more hail chances out that direction as the southern end of this line here tonight has really dominated. And getting growing concern here a little bit. I mean, this does definitely look like it's built up some strength here in the last 15 or 20 minutes or so. This whole line really does. So I'm gonna flip back over to Danville here for just a moment. We're gonna look at the scene in there, and anybody out there in Vermilion County right now, feel free to chime in as to what you're seeing. But I do think that you're getting a bit of a stronger storm here, pushing on through. A little bit stronger than what it was even when it moved through Champaign. It was pretty strong when it moved here. And I guess I gotta actually flip that camera on there. There we go. Yeah, stronger than what it was when it moved through Champaign County, and that was already pretty intense enough there with some of those gusts and a lot of lightning. I've got a couple of questions there regarding tornadoes. Not seeing anything out there right now. We've only got one severe thunderstorm warning, and that one is effectively out of the area here, or at least exiting at the moment. Although there's no tornadoes, I must say there's some strong winds still. We're still getting some pretty intense velocity signatures there with that big mess of a storm there. southeastern Champaign, now northwestern Edgar, southwestern Vermilion County. Got someone, let's see who that was there. Who said that? Where'd they go? Laura, feels like temp has dropped quite a bit now in Urbana. And that is 100% the truth. It was 72 degrees 30 minutes ago. It is now 62 degrees here, according to Willard Airport. So yeah, you're feeling the cold outflow there of that storm as it passes on through. That cold air blowing on in here into the area. Let's see what we got here. Got a couple more things popping on my phone. So we've got severe thunderstorm warnings popping up outside the area. We're looking at the Peoria region, but yes, as I thought, that one's kind of still in line with our viewing area here. So maybe some second round action for McLean and soon Livingston County. Mona says no power west of Collison, but storm has moved through. So yeah, definitely enough to knock out the power there in some of those places. Don't need severe storms to do that. You just need a strong enough wind there in the right place at the right time, and that can make things go a little south there pretty quick. But I will say, the look of the storm has gotten a little better. Now, I think part of that is we're looking higher up in it there. That Lincoln radar aiming up higher in the sky. That's the closest radar we have outside of the one down there in Evansville. But yeah, this is one by far the closest one. So maybe we're just looking a little higher up there in the storm, making it look a little more beefy up high. Not quite as dense there at the surface, but you can tell there's still some strength in these storms, whether it's closer to the ground or up above. And it's keeping us awake. That thunder, that lightning put on a show. Maybe waking up the folks in Vermilion County here at the moment. And maybe even the strong winds. I mean, we'll flip back to the velocity picture here again, but I don't think it's gone anywhere. I don't think we have yeah, oh man, we really are not relaxing there with those winds, still keeping that tan color there. Got a report, let's see here. Peoria, getting reports of nickel-sized hail up that direction. So a little bit of relevance since that's not in our area, but it's certainly relevant by the fact that that's on its way to a place like McLean County there, maybe another round in Bloomington or Pontiac even. Go back to our regular radar look here. And if you've been with us since the beginning, we're getting close to that 2-hour mark here since we've been live. So thank you for spending our night with us. Make sure you get your sleep though. Definitely want to make sure that we are not tiring ourselves out here. Fun to watch these storms. It's my job to do it though. And love you guys watching along with us there, but definitely make sure we're getting our rest, getting our beauty sleep here as well. But definitely stick around as long as you want here. We love having you in here, and we love the reports that you guys give us. So we're looking up here to the northwest right now. Peoria, I mean, you got yourself a nice little storm there in the north part of the area. Peoria seems like a storm magnet this season. I feel like anytime we've had, oh man, really nice lightning there in Danville. That was a really long illumination of the sky there. In fact, I'm going to look at what this says here in Peoria real quick. We're going to flip to that Danville cam. 60 mile an hour winds, quarter size hail. Let's go back to Danville. Oh man, look at that rain there in the streets. Yeah, it's coming down hard. It's coming down really hard there in Danville at the moment. And man, there's trees blowing around too. I mean, look at that rain just pushing on through the streets there. Lightning lighting up the sky. Yeah, it's really picking up there in Danville. I mean, this is a good look there into town. See the trees moving around and the rain coming down there in sheets as well. Man, it's a nice little storm there in Danville at the moment. And anyone along that line right now kind of feeling the same thing. And if this is what it looks like in Danville, I'm just imagining what it looks like there. Well, I tell you what, that giant storm that we've been watching here, kind of the biggest concentration, that one kind of dropping down there in reflectivity signatures a little bit. Still probably wild as far as lightning goes, but maybe not quite as intense as it was earlier. I think maybe we have dethroned our big storm here. It might be the one here in Edgar County, or excuse me, in Vermilion County here at the moment. Yeah, man, north of Danville, in between Danville and Bismarck, seeing some maroon colors in there. we're gonna watch that one unfold. We're just gonna watch things in Danville there for a little bit. It's a good view. The storm's moving on in. Lisa says, in Danville, getting bad. Dogs are terrified. Definitely take care of them. Nothing hugely concerning here with this one. It is definitely a strong storm, but we're not talking about anything here that will cause any sort of mass mayhem down that direction. Maybe seeing gusts around 50, 55 miles an hour. But I'm betting that lightning and thunder is really what's scaring them, because there's plenty of that here in this storm. Yeah, plenty of people reporting in that lightning and thunder in Danville, and we're witnessing that live here on our Danville cams. Maybe the rain. Oh no, did I lose my signal there in Danville? Looks like the picture is pretty still. Oh, there we go. Moving it again. See, when those pictures go still, always kind of hold your breath for a moment, thinking maybe got a really big burst of wind in there, or lightning striking by somewhere. Shane says, extremely windy north of Danville, just south of Bismarck. And yeah, I mean, this storm, it's impressive. I mean, for not being a severe storm, it's certainly packing every bit of a punch. You're seeing the lightning, feeling the wind, of course, that heavy rain at times as well. I'm going to take a look here at a couple things while we continue to watch the Danville camera there. Some nice lightning there in the background. So I'm looking at Willard here, the Willard's reports. I've gotten about a little over 1/4 of an inch of rain, so a nice little shower there. National Weather Service now officially mentioning the storm starting to move into McLean County. So we're watching those too. And they got some peak and maroon in there as well. Places like Allen, feeling it, Danvers, Dale, and of course Bloomington, soon to be in the path of that one as well. So we'll watch this one. It's got a severe thunderstorm warning attached to it up there to the north, east of Peoria. Right now, this one entering McLean County, not severe warned, but you got a couple of storms up here to keep an eye on. A couple of things that could make some noise here tonight still. But not to be forgotten, storms out here to the east, and people really telling us that this Danville storm is really kind of packing a punch here. And I can believe it. Dropping the lightning in there, and it's everywhere. You see those darker colors as well. I'm gonna plot the velocity back on there one more time. Again, we're kind of looking up into the air a little more here, the further away from the Lincoln radar that we get. And I've got the Indianapolis one there. There we go. So yeah, we're plenty up in the air, but I mean, we're not up in the air that much to where, you know, gusts like these are any less impressive. I mean, we're seeing some pretty strong winds there, not too far above the surface. So back to our regular radar, and really starting to feel in Edgar County now as well. That's kind of where that big storm that we've been watching. Chrisman soon to be in the path of that one. Horace, Garland, Hume as well. Checking out some comments here. Angel says storm just picked up in Tilton. Alicia says watching on my Ring camera in North Danville. Definitely hitting us good. So we know what's going on down here that direction. Eventually starting to jump into our Indiana counties here. Covington already seeing 2-inch hail tonight. Get ready for round 2. Maybe not of 2-inch hail, but of another round of some heavy rain, some strong winds there possibly as well. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at here at the moment. Kind of looking at a few things here as they come into my phone as well. So I'm gonna look at things up here to the northwest just a little bit. Kind of go back and forth here for a little bit. But we'll kind of back this up here just a little bit. You see new storms starting to pop up here into the northwest part of the area. I mean, it still looks like it's strengthening there as it moves on into Bloomington. So we're going to switch gears here for a moment. We're going to look up here into McLean County again. We'll catch Danville one last time as we switch over to Bloomington. And we'll we'll make our transition there. So we're watching things in Bloomington here. Not getting too electric just yet, but gonna see some storms here in just a little bit. There we go. There's some nice lightning again. So that's why we're sticking around. That's why we're keeping an eye on these things, because just when you think things are calming down, you get another line right behind it. Again, worth watching. Any of these storms here northwest of the area. Macomb City, man, you got yourself a pretty hefty looking cell there. Pretty nice big storm out that direction. Still got that severe thunderstorm warning there in eastern Iroquois County, but that storm is now passed into the Indiana territory there. Also grabbing some of our nice folks over there in Indiana, a place like Fowler, Parish Grove, Earl Park, Boswell, Hickory Grove. Not sure if we have anybody up that direction here watching here with us right now, but you've got yourself a severe thunderstorm warning up that direction. Still seeing with that. I guess I got to pop that one in there on the screen. Get rid of that one there. But yeah, Benton County, that's where you're feeling it here at the moment. Seeing those gusts, 60 miles an hour, quarter-size hail. So a classic severe thunderstorm there. Some of our Indiana folks. And down the line, really down the state line here right now, across the border. About to hop from one Vermilion County to the next Vermilion County there with some of these storms. Oh, wow. Oh, man, I just missed a really close lightning bolt there in Bloomington. I saw like the shadow of that thing as it went away. I'm going to keep it up there for just a moment. All right, I'm going to catch up on some comments here. Looks like plenty of people. Holly says tree fell in Danville, landed on a car and house. My goodness. Okay, so Holly with a big damage report there. Holly, if you could tell us how far away from you was that? Is that something that you heard from someone, or did you see that outside here at the moment? And answer your question as far as producing tornado. I don't see any kind of indication that it would be any kind of tornadic activity here at the moment. We're kind of in a weird spot as far as our radars go. You're kind of like in the middle of four different radars. So we're looking up. We don't really see a whole lot at the surface, but from what I can tell, I don't see anything there that would be that'd be too concerning at the moment. But definitely seeing some strong winds. So Holly's saying across the street from her house. So I'm going to relay that one over there to the Weather Service. That's it's pretty good damage there. Tree fell, landed on a car and house. Any kind of idea, Holly, if it looks like if it hurt the house any, or is this just kind of like was it the whole tree, I'm guessing, then? And if so, what kind of damage you looking at here? Just kind of trying to get a few details there, just to feed to the Weather Service. And if it's too much trouble for you there, don't worry about it too badly there. But just curious, because yeah, we got some strong winds over there in Vermilion County. Really made some noise there. Again, Holly, make sure you're staying safe there. Definitely would appreciate the report, but keep an eye on your safety there. But see what you can see, and I will relay it regardless there. But yeah, definitely a pretty hefty report there. Tree falling down across the street. So we're at that point now where we're watching our storms cross over into our Indiana viewing area. Petersburg, home of the Kevin Leidy. Covington, saw some hail earlier tonight. Another round moving on in, maybe some smaller hail, but definitely feeling some of that stormy weather here tonight as well. Danville looking like things are starting to wrap up there as far as the bulk of the storm. Still seeing some rain. And we watched that storm earlier, passing through the streets of Danville. And man, there's something to hold there for a little bit with all that lightning. I'm going to keep a wide shot here. I'm going to get rid of some of those smaller town names and just zoom on in here. Here's an overview of our situation right now. We are watching that line of storms exit east into the into Indiana territory, and maybe still feeling it there in Edgar, Vermilion County. South Champaign, North Douglas, definitely feeling it. Piatt as well. Then you got yourself a nice little maroon and kind of purplish storm there. Maybe dropping some hail, some heavy rain. But of particular interest, a little more enticed by this Bloomington storm here. So, folks in Bloomington, normal area, get ready here. Just a couple of minutes. This one's knocking on your door. I mean, those pink signatures, pretty high reflectivity. Get ready. Also for some hailstones dropping in there as well, along with some heavy rain. We're going to flip over to Bloomington there real quick. Check things out. Yeah, I'm seeing the light show there still. We'll take a back look here at the comments, see if check where Holly, see if she said anything back here yet. Looks like she is still out there looking at that. Again, make sure you're staying safe when you're out there looking at this stuff, especially if storms are still filtering around. But yeah, a report of a tree falling, landing on a house and a car. That's big stuff. And it takes a pretty strong storm to do that. So we'll hopefully hear from her again here in just a moment. Hannah says her mom lives in Covington, and the storm is hitting there bad now like it was in Danville. So yeah, I can definitely believe that. Looks like again, it's kind of tricky to tell what's going on as you move further away from the radar. You get higher up, harder to tell what's going on at the surface. But I mean, yeah, you're still seeing some pretty tough looking storms out this direction as they are well into Indiana now. Fulton, Petersburg, Highland, Mill Creek, Perrysville. I saw someone in the comments there from Perrysville just a minute ago. Yeah, Heather there in Perrysville. Yep. Yeah, definitely feeling it there right now. So these storms, like we said, these nighttime storms, these are kind of hard to tell what's going on because they kind of have we talk about how, the heat during the day kind of generates these storms and really gets them fired up. But these complexes overnight sometimes, they're kind of their own self-generating thing here. And that's why you're getting some of these storms to just fire up here even after sunset. Also keep my eye on here in southern Piatt County, Beemont, Cerro Gordo. I mean, you guys have got to have been feeling some rain here for about over an hour now. If anyone's out there that can confirm that or anything, but you've been trailing behind this line. I'll even loop it up here. Yeah, you've been feeling rain for about a good hour and a half now, and it's got to be still pouring down there. Finally getting to the end of it, but yeah, things have not stopped out in that part of Piatt County there in a while. So definitely still feeling rain, maybe a little bit of hail there to end things. We're going to keep watching things here as they move over into our Indiana viewing area. Perrysville, Petersburg, Mill Creek, Fulton. Looking like you got yourself a nice little storm moving on in there. Vermilion, Highland, Bloomingdale, Rockville, Raven as well. And even up the line up there to the north, Fowler. Just a little bit to the south there, that severe thunderstorm warning. Really the only active one here in the area. 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter-size hail. So that's what we're seeing there on the state border. And another one to watch here in Bloomington. Toss some lightning onto that one. Oh yeah, yep, that one's got some nice electricity to it as well. So maybe not seeing severe storms here right now technically, but oh good, Holly sent some pictures over. Let's take a look here. See if I can get those to pop up on here. No, thank you for going out and getting those, Holly. I really appreciate that, and be some good stuff to see here. Hopefully it moves on in here in just a moment. Maybe it's taking a little bit there for it to send. But yeah, appreciate that. We'll get a look at those here, hopefully in just a moment. So we're watching up there in Bloomington. I'm going to look down here south again. Got let's see who's in there asking about Chrisman area. A little bit disorganized there. Again, with this particular region, I'm not seeing anything too alarming at the moment. Yeah, just some strong winds. I mean, there's maybe a little bit of some of those winds kind of moving around there. Kind of almost looks like it's kind of putting a little bit of quote rotation there in it, but I don't think it's anything too alarming here at the moment. Just continue to see those strong winds and the heavy rain as well. And I'm seeing some activity really pick up there in Bloomington. We're going to toss that camera on there and watch as round 2 moves through Bloomington. And I clicked on the wrong slide there. There we go. There's Bloomington. Oh yeah, seeing some nice lightning out there here. It's about 2:30 in the morning on Sunday morning. Appreciate all of you that have stuck around here for this long. I mean, you guys are real troopers out here tonight, and of course, we're doing our best to make sure that you guys are staying safe here. And I got something interesting going on here. My roommate, we live in an apartment here in Champaign. His key fob's not working. It's an electronic one to get in. So I have a feeling some lightning is kind of messing with some stuff here in town. And I don't know if anyone else has any way of kind of telling that, but that's happened before. We've had lightning in here in town before, in campus town. That's really thrown off just the way the electricity works there in the buildings. So that's interesting. And I'm definitely not surprised with all the lightning move through the area. So little bit I might not be talking quite as frequently here, kind of helping him out because he can't get in the room right now, so that's a bit of a problem here. And there goes the Bloomington cam. Oh wow! So anybody up there in Bloomington see what's going on? Because we just lost that camera, and it popped back. Okay, maybe it just blinked out there for just a moment. Maybe we had really strong lightning just knock it out there for just a moment. And there comes back on our banner. I don't know if, looks like a different angle to me all of a sudden. I don't know if the kind of move the camera around a little bit there or what the deal was, but we do have it back up there, thank goodness. Let's take a look back at radar again. Got some people asking here, looking into some more storm chances in the night. Got people asking about Danville. There might be another chance here later on in the night. Some of this back-end stuff, it's kind of hard to tell. From right now, from what I've seen, I don't think a lot of my my future track models, it's hard to tell which one to rely on here at the moment because a lot of them are not doing the best job of currently depicting the storms, and that is a bit of a problem because I don't want to give you a future track of a storm that's not doing a very good job here right now in the moment. Now, if it's got the right shape and everything, and it's just off on time, then I can roll with it there because it at least knows what's going on. But yeah, I've got one future track here that usually does a good job of keeping up with things as they happen. It's got storms all over Sangamon County and Cass and Morgan, and we don't see that right now. So that one is not holding things up as well as it could here. So really can't look at that one and say a whole lot with certainty. I'm going to flip over to a different one here that I normally look at, see how that one's holding up. And yeah, it's just these models are not. They really aren't putting together the puzzle the way that we see it here right now. So that's a little bit of a problem with predicting how things are going to go out here the rest of the night. Some of these models just not quite reading the situation as good as they could here. Got a message from James earlier, dime-size hail in eastern Danville. Not sure if Holly's still out there. I'm thumbing through. I'm not sure what you... Well, hang on here. Maybe I'm going crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure where you sent the photos. I don't know if you emailed or sent it to me on Facebook, but I don't have anything in either one here yet. If you want to, just hop into my Facebook there, see if you can message me. Message me those pictures because I don't see anything new in my inboxes on Messenger or in the emails. I'll look around here and make sure. Sent it on Facebook. Okay, let's take a look. I'm not seeing any new message on Facebook. If you want to maybe give it another shot of trying to send them in there, maybe they're still trying to send on in, but I'll keep my message tab open there. And again, don't go through too much trouble there with sending that. Love to see it, but if it causes us too much problems there, don't want to make any problems for you at 2:30 in the morning there. Definitely already an odd situation here for many of us. Storm moving through McLean County, Randolph, Bloomington area. Maybe seeing some small hail in there as well as some strong winds. But that big line of storms still hanging out in Indiana. Western Indiana, Vermilion, feeling it. Sylvania, Mill Creek. Petersburg, Covington as well. West Lebanon. Some of those places really kind of feeling some of the heavier rain, maybe stronger winds as well. Heather asks, do you know when State Line is expecting next round with an estimate? I think, from what I can tell right now, the only second round potentially would be this stuff up here in McLean and DeWitt at the moment. But if I'm not mistaken, I'll put on a loop here. I think this stuff's all heading straight east. So I don't think it's lining up quite as well with like the central part of the border. It definitely looking like it could still hit some of those northern counties on the state line there. But yeah, that could happen there later on in the night. Definitely not ruling that out. In fact, just based on the way these storms have popped up here in the last hour or so, I would be willing to guess that there probably will be a second round. If I had to guess, maybe the next hour and a half, maybe up there in the state line. Someone's saying the sky looks a bit like a strobe light in Petersburg. That would be something to see there at the moment. Of course, we don't have any cameras out there across the state line, but no, I can believe it. That storm has a history of some intense lightning here. Yeah, you can just see those populated all over the board. Still working with Holly here to get our pictures of what happened there in Danville. So let's see if we can filter some things out here and get her pictures in. And we'll keep watching. I guess I can clean up my screen a little bit here. Didn't realize how much of a mess I left it in. Get some of those cities off the board. Piatt County finally looking like you're free of the storm shackles here tonight. Been a little while since you've not been underneath a little bit of a storm here. Thomas asking, Danville's got a lot of lightning, but wondering why there's no warning. For a severe thunderstorm warning to be issued, you need 60-mile-an-hour winds, or you need hail up to a quarter size in diameter. So you can have a ton of lightning and not have a severe storm. It comes down to just those exact criteria. That's what the National Weather Service looks at there before they hand down those warnings. It has to be 60-mile-an-hour winds, quarter size hail, or it has to have a tornado as part of it. Obviously, we're not dealing there with that. But there could be all kinds of lightning and it not be a severe thunderstorm warning there if it does not have one of those two things in there as well. So I am looking through my inbox here. Let's see. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong account. No. Thomas says estimated 70-mile-an-hour winds. And yes, he is in Danville as well. So yeah, I mean, estimated 70-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, yeah, it definitely sounds like it could have been one of those stronger storms. I guess National Weather Service didn't see enough there at the time, any kind of radar indicated stuff to pin it out there. But it's definitely possible you felt near severe thunderstorm warning status. I mean, just watching that thing roll through Danville there on the Skycam, it was impressive. I mean, that rain was coming down in sheets. The lightning was all over the place there. Yeah, definitely not a weak storm by any means there. Couple of hot spots to keep watching for here. That little storm that's been hanging out near Piatt in southern Champaign County. Watching that one, some of the highest reflectivity. Got someone asking about was it northern Iroquois County? Things looking good up there for the moment. This is what you have to watch for, though. That stuff out to the west. I'll loop it here real quick. And you kind of see what direction that little cluster of storms is heading. So you kind of got a kind of pretty much an eastern extent there to it. But you can kind of see some of this top stuff maybe heading out there towards Iroquois County later on in the night as well. We'll see how well it holds up. I mean, obviously that severe thunderstorm warning could be in play here soon. Could be in play in Livingston, potentially parts of McLean County as well. We'll pause things up here. And I'm going to put one of the storm squalls out there. I guess I gotta find out how fast this thing's moving here. This one's moving at ... This one's moving at 30 miles an hour, so this is a bit of a slow mover. But let's use our storm squall. Let's drag this one out, and let's see what kind of places they're potentially in the path of that. So we'll kind of take this, drag along our polygon here. I'm actually going to do that one over again because we want to start there towards the front of the storm. We're going to do that again. We're going to drag here at the front and move things out this direction. So yeah, over the course of the next hour, these are kind of the places you're looking at there for that potential severe thunderstorm if it stays on the track it is right now. So El Paso, potentially around 3 o'clock. Gridley, there about 3:15. And also seeing Chinoa on there as well. So if you are on that list there, might want to keep an eye on things, kind of see how this storm evolves in time. And of course, we'll be right here to watch things with you as well. I'm going to have to get a refill of my drink here just to make sure I'm not really drying myself out. So I am going to keep the radar image here for just a moment. I'm going to mute my microphone here so you guys don't hear anything that's going on there, but give you a nice little view of the area here real quick. And I will run and get my drink real quick, and I will be right back in just a moment. Alrighty, we got our water cup refilled here, and we're ready to keep rocking and rolling here. So let's take a look. Still trying to get that picture of Molly. Let's see. Check here again. All right, I'll move things around here now that we're back in business. So that storm around Bloomington kind of fallen apart a little bit, a little more disorganization there than what we saw earlier. But still definitely seeing some heavy rain there with that. Things are kind of quietening down here in general. The storms along the state line are still pretty strong, but they're on their way out. Some of our Indiana counties still feeling those at the moment, but pretty soon that'll be behind us. Kaylee's seeing hail in Leroy there again. Had some earlier, now it's back again. Kind of moving around here, getting some stuff organized on my desk here. Left a little bit of a mess throughout the night. And we'll take a look here. We're going to go back to Bloomington here real quick, look at the camera there, see what's going on. Might even flip to the normal camera as well at some point. In fact, let's just go ahead and do that. Let's see what things look like there. In normal, and we'll pop that on screen. See some nice lightning there, still popping up across the area. Our attention's kind of up there in McLean County now. We see maybe a few storm chances starting to pass through there. For whatever reason, Holly, still trying to get those pictures. I have our messenger conversation pulled up and it's blank, so I'm just going to send you a message and maybe you can try pulling it up from there, seeing if that works, and just send your images there through that. I believe you when you say you've sent them, but for whatever reason, I've dug around and I can't seem to find anything anywhere in my app, so if you just want to try one more time there, it'd be very much so appreciated here. As far as what the rest of the night looks like here, I'm not seeing anything out of control here at the moment. And in fact, that severe thunderstorm we were kind of tracking out earlier around Peoria, that's since been expired. So maybe not quite as much of a threat there directly eastward. We've got Samantha asking about Champaign area. There's some storms still making some noise down there in the south part of the county. Town itself looks to be free of any kind of storms here at the moment. Can't rule out maybe just a little cluster moving on in here from this direction. But that doesn't look to be anything too high in there. Maybe some small hail in parts with that, but that'll kind of slowly move across the area there as those storms to the north really have almost a pure eastward movement to them. Worth watching, though. I mean, the strongest storms have been west of the area here. And that's kind of what was imagined as well. I don't know if you guys remember what it looked like, but the Storm Prediction Center Outlook had that slight risk a bit outside of our area, also into our area some. Yeah, those where those storms are firing up here, and it feels like as they move east, they kind of lose their luster a little bit. So we'll continue to track here throughout the night. We've already put together 2.5 hours here on the stream, and a lot of it has not been severe stuff. We usually don't hop on here unless there is some severe stuff, but I'm a little bit uncertain about the way things are moving around here tonight. There's just enough stuff out there to make me want to stay on here and keep things rolling. Just because Again, we're not really sure where things are going to amount here. But I'm going to keep an eye on this stuff in McLean County. If nothing crazy happens there, I might start to wind things down here just a little bit, because it is 2:30, 3 in the morning. We don't have anything imminent, anything too sinister out there to really worry about. I think it would definitely be a good idea here to give us all a break. And of course, if something does happen here in the middle of the night, we'll hop back on here. But I'm gonna kind of babysit this thing here in McLean County for just a little bit. It's not very organized, so I'm not too worried about it. But don't want to jump out here and. Oh yes, thank you, Holly. Picture's finally coming on in there. So let's see. Oh yeah, it's about as yeah, that's a pretty big tree falling down there. And do you remember what time frame that was? It's been a little bit now since we've been trying to get those pictures in. Was that about that was when that storm moved through about maybe an hour ago? I can back it up here and actually look and see. Yeah, about 45 minutes ago, around 2 o'clock. Does that sound right? But we're still watching what's going on here. Yep, sounds right to Holly. So I will get that fed in there to the National Weather Service. A little bit of damage reported. Yeah, that's not a small tree either. That is a pretty good looking one there, and it looks like, yeah, right there next to the house. So I'm getting that message pumped in there. That's why I'm just a little bit quiet here, getting that sent in here real quick, and then we'll take a look at things again. But yeah, sorry to keep quiet there for too long. Just kind of watching that little cluster up there in McLean County. I'm not too concerned about it. It looks like things are kind of weakening here. We've got some storm reports of stuff there in the Peoria area, kind of getting close to quarter-size hail. But in general, I'm not seeing anything too wild out here so far. So I'm gonna throw on the lightning there. Yeah, there's still plenty of lightning up there in McLean County. But as you can see, there's no warnings here in the area, and the stuff out west maybe a little bit of a thing to keep an eye on. National Weather Service does issue some strong storms looking to impact parts of Piatt and DeWitt here, and McLean counties as well. So we'll kind of watch that. We'll watch that here for a little bit. But I'll be honest, I do need a little rest here myself, and with things being a little bit on the lighter end of things here, I don't want to carry too deep into the night here. And if you guys are staying up here watching for anything big to happen, I don't think we're going to see that here in the immediate future. I think maybe a couple of storms pick up potentially some, maybe close to severe status at times, but it's hard to tell. It really is. Our models are not picking up on stuff as well as they have in the past, so it's just a little tricky to tell for sure exactly what's what's in store there. But we're kind of here. We're kind of up here on 2.5 hours into our stream, and again, not seeing anything severe here into the area. Plenty of lightning up there in McLean County, and we're starting to see some of those strong storms move in through Piatt as well, on their way to Champaign. Give it a little loop there, see where those are heading. And you can see they've got themselves some eastward extent there to them. But we're at that point in the night where I think we're going to wind things up here and just kind of take a break from some things. If we get some severe storms to pop up again, I will probably keep you notified here through Facebook. If we start to get a little bit more of a chain of stuff going, we'll potentially hop back here on the stream. But I think at this point in the night, things are getting pretty late, and storms aren't there at the severe status. So definitely don't want to be making it seem like it's a bigger deal than what it actually is here. We just have some stronger storms here rumbling throughout the night. Nothing that is going to cause too much trouble here. Again, strong winds, small hail, maybe up to a quarter size here possible throughout the night. But aside from that, things remaining a bit quiet here at the moment, and kind of an overall weakening trend. So with that, I'm gonna close down the live here for now. Definitely keep an eye on things. Even if stuff's below severe status, definitely don't want to overlook anything. Make sure the storms pass through your area there before you quiet things down and go back to bed. Looking like we're gonna be fine here until about sunrise. Again, this little cluster up here to the north, maybe keep an eye on for. And again, I'm not going anywhere, so I'll continue to watch this. But definitely don't want to keep you guys up here looking at stuff that isn't warranting of any kind of any big action here at the moment. So with that being said, appreciate all of you that jumped on here at the beginning and made it all the way here to the end, or even if you picked up on it 10 minutes ago. We thank you for watching. Thank you for sending in those reports. Hopefully I don't have to see you guys again here tonight. That means things are quieting down and we're on the good side of things. But I'll continue to watch, make sure things are looking good here. So with that being said, we are going to wrap up here. And again, have a good evening, get some rest, and we will we'll pick back up with potential for some storms again late tomorrow into tomorrow night. So until